Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Vimoh Live. This is a podcast that is recorded on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Twitch. Actually, it's not recorded on YouTube, it's live streamed on YouTube, and the recording is made available to people later on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Ghana.com, JioSaavn, etc., etc., etc. So, if you are listening to this at a later point of time, please leave a rating or a review of the show and I shall be grateful to you because that is how the podcast spreads. If you are watching here right now live, then I thank you, obviously, because where is the ticker? I can't find it. Oh, yeah, here it is. I thank you and welcome. This is a show where we talk about atheism, religion, culture, and adjacent topics with a specific focus on India, and there is a link pinned to the top of the chat that you can click on and come on screen and we can talk. The show is also monetized. If you want to support it with money, then you can click the join button below and become a member on YouTube. And if you are watching on Twitch, please come to YouTube and click the join button here, because Twitch monetization isn't really something I have enabled. Like, I have enabled it, but I don't use it much. And also, there is a Patreon at patreon.com/Vimo where you can support it. And if nothing else, then you can simply make a one-time donation at my blog at vimoh.stck.me. That's vimoh.stck.me. There is a support button there. You can click on it and you can make a one-time donation of your choice. No monthly or annual commitment necessary. There is also merch available at kadakmerch.com/Vimo Live, where t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs are available. You can buy them, and any money that comes to me that way also goes into supporting the show. I'm an independent content creator, and this is my full-time work, so your support is appreciated. This show is literally sponsored by you. Having said all that, let me take a look at the comments. Who all are here? There are already a couple of people in the queue. I'll get you in a moment. Sameep is here. Hello. Dhiru bhai. Hello. Meta Galaxy. Hi. Puneet says we talk about contemporary Indian culture and atheism. Emphasis on contemporary. Yes, not ancient Indian culture, because plenty of people are obsessed with it anyway. Dave says what to read on procrastination and goal setting wealth wise. Dave, I am of the opinion that all this productivity stuff is kind of sort of quasi religious, because it's about living a certain way, right? Have people trying to tell you how best to live your life, how to be most productive. There is an element to this that is capitalistic, which is like, programming people to become better workers, and under the promise that if you produce more, you will be more successful and make more money. And that is simply not the case. Sure, if you like work, I like work, I work all the time, like literally from morning till night I work, but that's me working for myself. So when you think about productivity, the first thing you should think about is, why are you being productive? Are you doing it because you find fulfillment, or are you doing this because you have some kind of a profit setting goal in front of you? Also, I would recommend a podcast that I discovered recently on it's a BBC podcast. It's called The New Gurus. Search for it on Spotify and listen to it. There are episodes about proper spiritual gurus, but also the religious aspects of productivity culture, where people establish themselves as productivity gurus and make money by teaching other people how to be productivity gurus. So yeah, goal setting and procrastination के बारे में मेरे opinions हैं दूसरे, but if you want to talk about this in detail, come on screen and we'll talk. Sameep says, "What is your favorite anime?" I think my favorite anime is Naruto. I haven't experimented much in the anime area, but yeah, Naruto is something I like. Right. So all the people mostly have been taken care of. Everyone who's saying hi, hello. Let me get to the conversation. The first person is Ajay. Hi, Ajay.
Hey, hi Vimoh, how are you?
Hey, what's up?
Certain days ago, famous US atheist YouTuber
Hmm.
tweeted something that clicked my mind for some reason. So he
Hmm.
was talking about how our side means atheist side,
Atheists, yeah.
should have more kids because the other side is overbreeding. Now, at first
Who said this?
glance,
Who said this?
is it okay if I
Yeah,
take the
yeah,
name?
totally, totally. It's the American born.
Uh, you know Jimmy Snow, right?
Who?
The line executive producer.
No, I'm not. Like I know the line is a show, but I don't remember the names of the people who work there. He said this. He said atheists should have more kids.
So I will kind of put the context. I think he was not mean getting breeding kind of thing. He
Okay.
mean kind of adopt and all this thing. But it also triggered, like, my first response was, okay, this is not what, like, what does that mean is we are also indoctrinating our kids kind of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
my first thought was the same. But
Mm.
if we realize, right, that he has a point, like, if we take a religious household, the people who will become atheists or skeptic in that sense will be less. Consider you and me. Our
Mm.
family wholly are religious.
Mm.
We are kind of exception in this religious household.
Mm.
And if we consider that, then I think it's a good thing if we actually adopt kids or breed in that sense. What do you think?
See, I have always see. First of all, let me just talk about this thing. An American saying this, maybe it has a different connotation in America, but in India, the connotation that is usually associated with people saying "have more children" is what I remember Praveen Togadia saying in the 90s. Praveen Togadia was a uh, RSS big shot who was telling,
Correct,
who was giving blessings to Hindu women, saying "have 10 children," as if he was going to
correct,
bring them up. So,
correct.
if having more children is being suggested as a method uh, uh, of fighting some kind of demographic war, then obviously it's a stupid idea. It's a stupid idea
Mm,
because it's a stupid idea, and it is also an idea that when people talk about it, they themselves have no accountability about it. Telling other people to have more kids is very easy, and because in the very next breath, people like them are also going to say like, बहुत population बढ़ रहा है देश का. अबे तुम लोग बढ़ा रहे
correct,
हो, तुम लोग advocate कर रहे हो population बढ़ाने का. So
correct,
that's
correct,
one thing. Also, America does not really have a population problem. Like
correct.
the population of America does not get talked about as if it is a problem. Let me just put it that way. So
Mm,
maybe he had something else in mind. I haven't seen him. Maybe he was being sarcastic. Maybe he was something else, right? So
yeah.
those are the things that I wanted to say about that. With respect to bringing up children as atheists, I have a slightly different view on this than most people. I have talked about this in the past. And it has to do with the fact that I don't think that the solution to religious indoctrination is indoctrination of the opposite kind. That you bring up children telling them that all religions are false and that there are no gods. I am of the opinion
Mm,
that you should let children make their own decisions, and the way to enable them to make their own decisions is to say ki, yeah, you live in a world where there are many religions. These are all of them. These are all the people who believe in them, and here are people
mm,
who don't believe in any of them. So, sure,
correct,
there is a chance that a child may become religious despite being born in an atheistic household. And there is a smaller chance that a child will become an atheist if he is brought up in a religious household. But the problem with religious households is not that they indoctrinate children into religion. The problem is that they indoctrinate children into one specific religion. I am
mm,
of the opinion that if you expose a child to multiple religious outlooks and philosophies, the child will grow up thinking about religion in a fundamentally different way. They won't think of religion as one true path. They will think of
correct,
religions, plural, as a thing that many people do, and I can either do it or I don't have to do it, or I can be like one of those people who don't do any of this. So I think
mm,
that is a better path because it prevents children from becoming vessels for their parents' ambitions. I am of the opinion that a parent who forces a child to be religious is problematic, but a parent who forces a child to not be religious despite the child having curiosity about religion is also probably not a good. I don't think of that as good parenting.
okay. No, in that case also, when I say that we should not indoctrinate child, I also have that same kind of response at the same time. But I
Hmm.
think when we talk about bringing up a child a particular way, we are asking them to be how with a critical thinker, right? How
Hmm.
to ask questions. And I
Yeah.
think not all atheists, I'm not saying, I don't want to generalize that, but I'm
Hmm.
saying most of us have that kind of skeptical viewpoint. And by bringing our kids to that skeptical viewpoint, I think we will have a lot more responsible citizens in the world. Don't you think?
Hmm. I mean, yeah, but I don't think I have the right to decide for a child what his critical thinking, what shape his critical thinking is going to take. There are
Hmm.
religious people who are of the opinion that they are critical of their own religions, and many religious people are critical of their own religion. But if
Hmm.
you want to encourage a child to be a critical thinker, the best thing to do is not to give him the definition of what critical thinking means. The way to do it is to expose them to multiple points of view and encourage them to question all of them. That is, I think, a good way
Hmm.
of inculcating critical thinking in a child.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that makes
Right?
sense.
Hmm.
Correct.
Anything else, Ajay?
Only one thing. Can I
Huh.
recommend a book? I think you may have read this book or heard about this book. I'm
Go
reading
ahead.
it right now. The Skeptic Guide to the Universe by Steven Novella.
The
I think they
Skeptic's
have.
Guide to the Universe. No, I have not read it.
I think they also have a podcast on this.
Huh, that I have
But
heard. I've
same,
heard the podcast, but I have
yeah,
not read the book. Yeah.
yeah. This is good book. It
Hmm.
actually covers all the critical thinking part.
Hmm.
So this is a good book.
Okay. Cool.
With that, I will take a leave. Thanks. Thanks,
Thank you.
Vimoh.
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
That was Ajay. We have one, two, three, four, five people here. Let me say hi to Meghnad. Hi, Dancer liked the stream. Thank you, Meghnad, for coming. Taranga says, you can teach children about religions and atheism and everything else as different belief systems. Nah? Yeah, I mean, atheism is not a belief system. But yeah, you can teach children multiple ways of being with respect to meaning in life and help them make their own decisions. I am of the opinion that if I'm an atheist and I have a child and I'm bringing that child up in this world which is saturated with religiosity, I would expose my child to as many points of view as possible. I'd say, hey, look, this one is also a religion, that one is also a religion. These people believe that, those people believe that. And he says, but dad, what do you believe? And I say, I actually don't believe in any of this, but it's fascinating, isn't it? So if a child starts to think of these topics as things to be observed and, he gets to form an opinion about them, he or she gets to form an opinion about them, that's a much better thing than me telling a child all religions are bad. Because yeah, sure, all religions may be bad from my perspective, but I am not doing my child any favors by not allowing him or her to form his or her own opinions about the things that I consider bad. And I think in a world where multiple perspectives are available to the child will make a sane decision. Right. So that was. Let me just thank Sumit for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Sumit. Much appreciated. Respect for the work you're doing. I'm learning from you every day. That really makes me very happy. Thank you, Sumit, for saying that. Again, thank you for the $5. Also, thank you to Barnali for the 200 rupee ka super chat. She says, "Hello, Vimoh. What is your opinion on gold being found in cow urine by Junagadh University scientists?" I am pretty sure that is not true, but I will look into it and I'll let you know. I'm pretty sure that is not true. um, we have a bunch of people here. Meghnad says, Meghnad says, I came for budget discussion and Adani gossip. I don't think we are going to talk about the budget because I have zero understanding of it. If you want to talk about the budget or something you have noticed that you want to talk to us about, feel free to come on screen. Although there are five people before you, I should warn you. Wait, who is this in private chat? Mm, okay. Sumana is here and she has something to add. Okay, cool. Sumana is actually number five. Sumana, if you're willing to wait for a bit, I'll get to the other people first. Hi, Vyaktitva Mukul.
Hi, Vimoh.
What's up?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. Go on.
Okay. I want to
What
talk
did you want to
about
talk about?
caste. Yeah, I want
Okay.
to talk about Chativad, right?
Okay.
So, one of my friends,
Hmm.
he's from so-called lower castes.
Hmm.
And उसके साथ किस्सा ये है कि उसका जो सरनेम है वो अपर कास्ट लोगों का सरनेम है.
Hmm.
एंड उसने मुझे अपने पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस से बताया है कि जब वो कहीं भी जाता है उसे डिस्क्रिमिनेशन फेस नहीं करना पड़ता, लेकिन
Because of
उसकी
his second
जगह
name?
यस, यस,
हम्म
एग्ज़ैक्टली। और
हम्म
जब वो लोगों को मतलब ऐसे ओपनली तो नहीं बताता है, लेकिन जब उनके साथ गहरी दोस्ती होती है और जब वो आम लोगों को बताता है कि वो सो कॉल्ड लोअर कास्ट से है, तो
हम्म
लोगों का हमेशा यही उत्तर रहता है कि तुम दिखते तो नहीं हो वैसे, या फिर तुम्हारी बातचीत से लगता ऐसा नहीं है बिकॉज़ यू आर
हाँ
फ्रॉम वेल टू डू फैमिली एंड ऑल।
हम्म बाय
और
द वे, तुमने एक
दूसरी ची
देयर इज अ वेब कॉमिक कॉल्ड बकर मैक्स, राइट? हैव यू हर्ड ऑफ इट?
या
बकर
नो,
मैक्स में
नो,
एक
नो।
कॉमिक बकर मैक्स में एक कॉमिक है। अगर सर्च करोगे बकर मैक्स, जस्ट गूगल फॉर बकर मैक्स एंड देयर इज अ कॉमिक इन देयर कॉल्ड गोरा दलित. It is written by a friend of this channel by the name of Shikhant Sablinia. And he says that despite his caste, people think of him as upper caste because he's fair skinned, because there is this idea going on around that Dalit, Bahujan Adivasis are necessarily dark skinned. So it's like an imaginary kind of skin color difference that people have in their heads about all this.
यस। एंड उसी मेरे दोस्त ने, क्योंकि मैं उसका नाम यहाँ डिस्क्लोज नहीं कर सकता हूँ बिकॉज प्राइवेसी, तो
Hmm.
मेरे दोस्त ने यही चीज मुझे बताई कि उसकी जगह और अगर उसके कजन्स कहीं पे जाते हैं फॉर सर्चिंग फॉर अ फ्लैट और समथिंग लाइक दैट, अब
Hmm.
उनके कजन्स का सरनेम डिफरेंट है, जो कि
Hmm.
सो कॉल्ड लोअर कास्ट के सरनेम से मैच खाता है। तो
Hmm.
उसने बताया कि इसी वजह से उसके कज़िन्स को जो है बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम फेस करनी पड़ती है, और वो मतलब ऊपर लेयर में इस प्रॉब्लम से बच जाता है। तो उसका यही सजेशन है कि और लोगों को कि यार, अगर इस फर्स्ट फिल्टर को टैकल करना है कास्टिज़्म के, सबसे
Hmm.
अच्छा तरीका ये है कि यार लेट गो ऑफ योर सेकंड नेम मैन, और ईदर यूज़ अपर कास्ट सरनेम एंड ऑल।
नहीं, उससे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं होगी ना। लाइक नो नो डिसरिस्पेक्ट मेंट टू हिज योर फ्रेंड, एंड ऑब्वियसली ही हैज एवरी राइट टू डील विद थिंग्स इन द वे दैट सूट्स हिम। बट प्रॉब्लम ये नहीं है कि कुछ लोगों का कोई एक सेकंड नेम है। प्रॉब्लम ये है कि हम किसी भी सेकंड नेम को इन्फीरियर क्यों माने, और किसी को अपना सेकंड नेम छुपाना क्यों पड़े, किसी को अपना नाम बदलना क्यों पड़े, राइट?
हुँ,
So
मेक्स
yeah,
सेंस, या।
that's the actual problem. Like the solution to racism can't be that all black people change their skin color to white, right? The
या,
solution
या,
should be people should not have a problem with dark skin colors. So yeah, that
यस।
would be my addition to that.
यस, आई एग्री टू दैट, बट द थिंग इज, मैं यहाँ पे ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि अगर आपको फर्स्ट लेयर ऑफ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन से बचना है, इट्स नॉट
Hmm.
बिकॉज ऑफ सम सरनेम्स इंफीरियर है और कुछ सरनेम्स
Hmm.
सुपीरियर हैं।
Hmm.
अगर आपको पहला फिल्टर कट आउट करना है, तो आई वुड सजेस्ट ईदर रिमूव योर सरनेम और यूज नॉर्मल काइंड
See,
ऑफ सरनेम, आई मीन लाइक
that's
मेन
still
स्ट्रीम
pretend.
सरनेम।
That's still pretending, isn't it? If the goal is to have a caste-free society, then that goal cannot be achieved by like I can like again. I will repeat that if your friend finds something useful in his practical everyday existence, I have no right to comment on it. But I would say that जब घाव है गहरा सा, उसको इलाज की जरूरत पड़ती है, ना कि उसके ऊपर जल्दी से कुछ कलर लगा के घाव को छुपा दिया जाए, राइट?
यस,
अगर
राइट।
कास्टिज्म एक घाव है जो हमारी सभ्यता के ऊपर है और फेस्टर कर रहा है, उसको हीलिंग की ज़रूरत है। क्योंकि ये नहीं हो सकता सॉल्यूशन कि हम सारे अपर कास्ट लोगों को अपर कास्ट लोगों से ये छुपा लेंगे कि हम लोग हमारा सेकंड नेम, और फिर समस्या का समाधान हो जाएगा। टॉप लेवल अगेन, आई एज़ अ सवर्ण मैन, अ हेटेरोसेक्सुअल मैन विद ट्रेमेंडस प्रिविलेज इन सोसाइटी, आई हैव नो राइट टू कमेंट ऑन योर फ्रेंड्स way of dealing with this problem. But I would just reiterate that the solution to solving casteism cannot be based on, you know, catering to the prejudices of upper caste people. Let's just put it that way. उन्हें ये चीज़ पसंद है, हम लोग ये कर लेते हैं, फिर वो लोग सब ठीक हो जाएँगे। ऐसा नहीं होगा ना?
यस, यस।
हुँ।
बट मैं जो कह रहा हूँ, मैं उसी के शब्द आपको पेश कर रहा हूँ कि मतलब
समझ रहा
उसका
हूँ, मैं
यही।
समझ रहा हूँ, मैं समझ रहा हूँ, और मैं ये भी कह रहा हूँ साथ ही साथ कि मुझे उनके ऊपर कमेंट करने का कोई हक नहीं है। पर मैं मेरा जो पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू था मैंने आपके पास रखा बस।
ओके, ठीक है,
हुँ।
बिल्कुल। तो
एनीथिंग एल्स व्यक्तित्व मुकुल?
नहीं, 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 ज़्यादा समय
Cool,
नहीं
cool,
लूँगा। ठीक है।
cool. Thank you. That was Vyaktitva Mukul. Vyaktitva is a very cool name, by the way. Who calls themselves personality? Uh, mm, 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 mm. Next person is Ronnie Boy. Hi, Ronnie Boy. Ronnie Boy, आप म्यूट पर हैं। बैकग्राउंड में आवाज़ आ रही है क्या? Ronnie Boy. Okay, I'll take Ronnie Boy off screen and try to get back to him. In the meantime, let us take F. Hi, F.
Hi, Vimoh. Am I audible
Hi.
to you?
Yes.
Yeah, so I saw you like your just recently I discovered your channel.
Hmm.
So I just saw that the topic of today is atheist hour.
It's the
So
topic of every stream.
okay, so are you an atheist?
Yes.
Okay, so you are 100% sure that there's no superpower existence? Is something like that? Am I right?
I'm an agnostic atheist. My position is that there is no reason to think that God exists because there has never been any evidence. If you provide evidence, I'll believe it.
So what is the difference between atheist and agnostic atheist?
An atheist means someone who does not believe in the lacks belief in the existence of God. An agnostic atheist is someone who gives a reason for not believing. So agnostic atheist का मतलब है uh, I don't know if there is a God, and therefore I do not believe in the existence of God, because if I don't know something, why would I believe in it?
Okay, but then there are many things in the universe we do not know. So it doesn't mean that those
And
things
we
are
don't
not
believe
present
in them.
out.
I'm not saying God
Maybe in
does not
future,
exist. I'm not saying God
yeah.
does not exist. I'm saying I lack belief in God because there is no evidence for it.
What if later, let's say after you die, the evidence comes out? Then
Then I'll believe it.
you will be dead by that time, no?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is not a, I do not think this is a very good reason. Okay, so let me ask you this. Like,
Do you have
I
do
guess,
you believe in God, right?
well, yes. So, no, let me ask this. Then I
No, no.
think,
Let me. You already asked three things. Let me ask one thing. Okay. You
okay,
believe in
go ahead.
God, right?
Yes.
Why?
See, the thing is, I do not find anything wrong in the philosophy which I follow. I do not
No,
find any
no. I'm talking
contradiction.
about the physical reality of God, a being. What is your definition of God? Tell me.
The I would say it is like Advaita Vedanta.
Okay. So
Vedanta.
break that up. What do you mean by that?
It is like this Brahman. Have you heard it?
Yes, but don't go by what I've heard. There are other people watching this also. So if you have a position, break it up and explain it.
Okay, so Brahman is the it is called the ultimate reality. It's a Jagat.
Jagat
It is
Mithya.
Satchitan. Yeah, Jagat Mithya in the sense that it is not like it doesn't exist, but it is an illusion. Yeah, but the reality is Brahman. We call it. It is
And
the
there's just one consciousness, and you and I are manifestations of it.
you can call it manifestation. I wouldn't agree that is the right word, but yeah.
Okay, so what
Okay,
is the
fine.
right
Let's
word?
go with that.
What is the
I would
right
say
word?
Chitabhasa. It is a Chitabhas.
Can you put it in English?
Well, it is. You can. The better word would be reflected consciousness.
Again, that still doesn't make any sense to me. Are you saying that the entire universe is one consciousness?
Yeah, ultimately on the ground level, yeah. Well, that is
Again, is the entire
that.
listen. Are you and I the same consciousness?
Well, you and I, when you refer, it is not referring to the Atma, right? It is referring to the reflected consciousness, Chitabhasa. So they are Chitabhasa is
Uh,
different.
F, that is a whole lot of like you're not actually telling me anything. It's going around in concepts and phrases that are hard to understand. So I'm trying
Well,
to simplify it so that we can actually talk about it. Because if we go into just words that I don't, or you don't, or the audience doesn't understand, then that can't be a conversation. Is the entire universe one consciousness? Yes or no?
yes, on the fundamental level.
What does that mean on a fundamental level?
I mean, so beyond these forms and names, the reality is there is only one thing.
How do you know this?
That is a claim done by our philosophy, and the philosophy
It's a
doesn't
claim,
contradict.
right? Is there any evidence for this claim?
Well, currently we do not. Well, listen. If lack of evidence doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, right?
Yeah, but lack of
It's
evidence
not
does
true.
not also doesn't mean that it does exist, right?
So it's like okay,
It's
then
just a
then let's
claim. If it's just a claim with no evidence, why do you think that? Why do you believe it?
okay, let's go step by step then. So it is like 50-50, right? 50 it has the possibility of existence, but again it
No,
has
I do,
equally
we
not
don't know that.
possibility of
We don't
existence.
know. No, no, we don't know that. We don't know if
Bro,
it is
the
possible. We don't know if it is impossible. We have only a claim. A claimed, like for example, I can claim that there is a man in there is a man in Bhagalpur who wears a blue coat and he's a lawyer. And his name is Ghanshyam Das, and he lives on the third floor of a building known as uh, Ram Gali, sorry,
Hmm.
Ram Mohalla or something. Do you think it is? Do you think it is possible?
It has both equal chances. It may be possible and might not be 50-50.
No,
We do not
no.
know.
It may see there are a few
What?
possibilities. One, it may be
Yeah.
possible. Two, it may be
Yeah.
impossible. C, uh, something else. Right. So
What defines something else? Some define something else.
define something else. I wouldn't know. Maybe it is half true. Maybe some of the things I said are true.
Define
Some of
half
the things
true.
are not
Define
true.
half true. Define
I
half
said
true.
I gave you four qualities, right? A guy who
Mhm.
has all these qualities. Maybe two of
But
them
I
are
didn't give you four.
real.
You gave his name, you gave his address, you gave his gully
Mhm.
number, you gave his mohalla number. I'm
Yeah.
just talking about superpower, one thing. So I am not using four different things. So there is no question of half
And
truth
you
there.
have see for those superpowers, you have not given me any evidence. You have just made a claim. I was trying to explain to you that just because a claim exists says nothing about whether it is possible or not possible.
That is what I'm saying, Vimoh. I'm saying that there is a possibility is existing. Equally, it is also possible that it doesn't exist. Let's go
It
by
is
that,
also possible
50-50.
that it is impossible, right?
Yeah, it doesn't exist. I'm saying you
It is
50-50.
no,
It
no,
is.
no. Doesn't and can't are two different things. Maybe it can't be true.
That is what I'm saying. It is 50-50. It may be true and
No,
it not be true.
again, it's not you're misunderstanding things. A
Yeah.
thing is possible is one claim. A thing is impossible is another claim. 50-50 is not a given. You are assuming a 50-50. It's not a given. Maybe it is not possible at all. Maybe
You are
it
using the
not
word
only
may,
maybe
bro.
it is maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe it can't exist.
It doesn't exist. Well, like,
The
see,
thing
when
that
we
you're
not,
the thing that you're saying is 50-50. Either it does exist or doesn't exist. I'm adding a
yes,
third thing, which is
yeah,
that maybe it can't exist. Maybe it is impossible for it to exist given the nature of the universe we live in. How do you know that that is not true?
bro. If it is impossible to exist, then it means that it doesn't exist, right? What is the difference between the two?
Because it is possible for something to exist and it still does not exist. For example,
Give
there are no
example.
physical rules that prevent the existence of dragons.
Mhm.
If you have a certain kind of atmosphere, if you have a certain kind of biology, perhaps a dragon can exist, but they don't. It is possible for something to be possible and still not real. That's what I'm saying.
But in reality, it doesn't exist, right? So there are two options. In reality, there is only two options. It may exist or it may
You're
not.
entirely missing the point. I'm saying you saying that there's a 50-50 chance here is not correct.
Why? I do not get it.
I
Why?
just
Like,
I
what is
just
the
explained
possible
it to
option?
you. There is one option one, it is
Yeah.
possible and it is real. Option two, it is possible and it is not real. Option two, it does not exist. It can exist, but it does not exist. Option four, it cannot exist and therefore it does not exist. अभी
It is
समझ में आया?
possible. It is possible, but it is not true. Define that with God. What
I
is
don't
possible?
believe in God. Why would I use God as an example? I'm saying if it is possible and it see, suppose there is a thing out there which can
Hmm.
exist. Like I could be a lawyer, right? It is not impossible
Hmm.
for me to be a lawyer, right?
Hmm. You can
But I'm
become a
not a
lawyer.
lawyer. But I'm not a lawyer.
No, right now you cannot be a lawyer. You can become in future a lawyer. That would be a
Maybe
right
I
word.
can't. How do you know I can? Maybe I'm so fucking stupid that every law test I give, I fail. Maybe I can't
Yeah.
become
So,
a lawyer.
so there are two options. Now, either you can or you cannot. So there are two options in the
No, there's
future.
also the fact that I can, but I don't, right? I can. It is possible for me to be a lawyer, but I
Hmm.
won't ever be a lawyer because I will either not give the tests or I will give all the tests and I will fail. I think that is the possibility that you're ignoring here.
Okay. With God, how will it go? Define that.
With God, how will it go? You have given me a definition of God as a fundamental consciousness. Okay, so let me put it this way.
Hmm.
Maybe it is possible for there to be a fundamental consciousness and there
Hmm.
is a fundamental consciousness. That's option one. Option two, it is possible for there to be a fundamental consciousness, but there isn't a fundamental consciousness. Option three, it is not possible for a fundamental consciousness to be, and therefore there isn't a fundamental consciousness. Option four, there cannot be a fundamental conscious, And okay, yeah, I already covered that in 3. So yeah, those 3 options, I think.
So you are saying it is possible to exist, but it is not real.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying it's one of the things
Yeah.
on the
So,
table.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. So it is one
Hmm.
of the option is it is possible that consciousness exists, but it doesn't exist. This is what you're saying.
No, it's one of the options. I don't know anything about it, but if
Hmm.
you want to talk about it, these are the 3 options. It is possible and it does exist. It is possible and it does not exist. It is impossible and therefore it does not exist. When you say 50-50, you're only looking at you're looking at the possibility wala thing. You're saying it's either
Hmm.
possible or impossible.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because obviously,
Yeah.
if something is impossible, it cannot exist, right?
If it is impossible, it cannot exist. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I'm going by the 3 options: possible and does exist, possible and doesn't exist, or impossible and doesn't exist. There are 2 things on my side and 1 thing on your side.
But possible and doesn't exist. Like I do not get it. Like
It's possible for something to be possible and still not true. I just gave an example. It is possible for me to be a lawyer and yet I'm not a lawyer.
so, you're
It is
saying that is
possible. It is
yeah.
possible for this house that I live in to be 3-storied, but it is not 3-storied.
So see, ultimately, even if we leave the possibilities, ultimately there are only two options that it may
Again,
exist or
तुम
not.
घुमा फिरा के वहीं पे आ रहे हो and you're ignoring the thing that I'm mentioning. I
No, no.
think
Let me list down all the three possibilities which you said. Okay, let me list down
Mhm,
all this. The very
mhm.
first possibility is you said it is possible to exist, but it is not real. Right? That is the first one.
Repeat.
The very first thing is you say it is possible that it exists,
Mhm,
but it is
mhm.
not real. Right?
Yeah,
The second one is it is possible to exist, but it is real.
it is possible and it is real. Yeah.
Real, yeah.
Hmm.
So you see in the both the things in the
And
both the
what about the
possible.
third one? What about the third one?
Yeah. In the third one,
That's
it is
what I'm saying.
impossible to
You're
exist.
ignoring the third one. Maybe it is
Okay, let me,
impossible.
bro. Let me say. In the third
Huh.
one is impossible, but it doesn't exist. है ना? And
Impossible
it
and
doesn't
it
exist.
doesn't exist. Yeah.
And it doesn't.
Hmm.
If you see the last one,
Hmm.
like the last
Hmm.
word which you using, possible, impossible, whatever. The last word is either exist or not exist.
Hmm.
With possible, either you are using exist or
Hmm.
not exist.
Hmm.
Similarly, with the word impossible, either you are using exist or not exist. So the
Hmm.
last word is either exist or not exist. So there are two
Okay, so you
possibilities
want
only.
to go at it that way. Cool. So
Yeah.
you want to ignore all this. You want to just
Hmm.
focus on the reality of whether it exists or not exist, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you can't talk about possibilities. You have to show me why you think it exists. You can't tell me that it is possible because you took it out of the equation now. You just have to focus on its existence or non-existence. And if you want to say that it does exist, then you have to give me evidence.
Bro, listen to me. What I'm saying. Currently, we both are in the condition that we are accepting this that it can exist or it cannot exist. 50-50.
No,
We
I'm
both are.
not. I'm not. I told you my
Why?
problem with
Why?
it. I gave you
Bro,
three things that are, I
but
gave you 3 things. You took one
hmm,
of them out, and then you chose to focus on either existence or non existence. You now
yes,
cannot
because
talk
you are
about
using that.
possibility.
Bro, but because you are using that, right?
No, no, no.
Because
Listen,
in all the three options, the last word was
the entire deal about possibility and impossibility has been
hmm,
discarded by you. All you are left with now is actual reality or actual non-reality or
no,
existence
my
or
friend.
non-existence.
Bro, you're wrong. So listen to me. You gave me the
What am I
three
wrong about?
possibilities.
I'm asking you a question. I'm wrong to ask you a question.
No, you're not wrong. You are wrong to understand thing what I'm saying. You are not understanding it. What I'm saying. You gave me three options, right? You gave me
Hmm.
three options, and in
Hmm.
each of those three options, the last word was either existence or not existent. Either it
You
is real or
clarified
unreal,
that. Yeah.
right?
You
So
chose
there
to
are two things. है ना
that
brother?
and what? Tell me what those 2 things are.
Is या फिर है या फिर नहीं है. It is real or
बस
not real.
अगर तुम कह रहे हो कि है तो एविडेंस दो.
Agar, understand the word agar. I'm not going to agar. I'm
You
saying
took
let
out
us
अगर.
come.
You took out अगर. You took out अगर. Possibility, impossibility तुमने बाहर निकाल के फेंक दिया. Now all you are left with is exists and non exists, and you are claiming that it does exist, and I'm asking
Bro,
for
I'm saying I
evidence.
do not know. I'm 50-50 right now, according
No,
along
no,
with you. Let's go
you
from
can't
here.
say you don't know because you took that possibility out. You say that God does exist.
Bro, then
When
again,
I
you
was
also
talking
said in
about
the first.
when I was talking about possibilities and impossibilities, you chose to take all that off the table. Now all you
Hmm.
are left with is does exist, because that is what you
No,
believe,
no, no,
and
no, no.
I'm asking for evidence.
When I took all the possibility and impossibility, then I'm left with two things. Either it is real or not real, right? According to you, the two given ways. Either it exists or
Hmm.
not
अच्छा
exist.
ठीक है, आगे
है ना?
बोलो. Hmm.
चलो, हाँ. So
I
we
would
are
rather not bang
maybe
my head on the wall. What?
okay. So now we are in the position that okay, it may exist or may not. We do not know. So let's
No,
go
no,
from
no,
here
no.
then.
We're not there. We're not there. We're
So
not
where are
there.
we? Where
We
where are
were
we? Huh.
there, and you took it off the table. You brought it
Now where
down
are
to
we?
exists or doesn't exist.
हाँ हाँ वही वही तो या फिर है या फिर नहीं है ना इसी पे तो हम
नहीं नहीं, या फिर का ऑप्शन पे हो ही नहीं है. दो पोजीशन बची है. एक है नॉन एग्जिस्टेंस, एक है एग्जिस्टेंस, एंड यू बिलीव दैट इट डज एग्जिस्ट.
No, I do not. I am currently with you. Currently,
You
we do
don't
not
think that
know.
God
It makes,
exists? You do not believe that God exists?
let us inquire it. Let us inquire. Let us see that.
No, no, you start.
Where,
Listen, isko my goalpost shifting, I won't stand for it. You started this
yeah,
conversation by saying that you believe in God, and now you're saying, who knows? ऐसे नहीं चलेगा. Stick to your
bro.
position, na.
Okay, bro. But at the beginning only you said I'm an atheist, and then you got agnostic atheist. ऐसा भी तो नहीं चलेगा ना, brother?
I said agnostic atheist from the
No,
beginning. I didn't change it
no,
halfway. You started
brother.
off saying that you believe in God's existence, and now you're saying you're undecided. ऐसे नहीं चलेगा.
Bro. The very first word was I'm an atheist. Yes, you accepted that. Then
हाँ,
you
तो
came into
in
point
most
agnostic
cases when
atheist.
people say atheist, they mean agnostic atheist only. I
So it
think
doesn't matter. But
you haven't spoken to many atheists, I think.
no, then you wouldn't have said me the difference between them, right? There is some
That's
difference.
because
No?
I
That's why you
needed to
pointed out.
clarify it, because you were jumping to the conclusion that I think that there is no superpower.
तो भाई देखो तो the thing is same. So let us go from here.
What
That
thing
ना
is
तुमको
same?
पता है ना मेरे को पता है. तुमने भी कहा
हाँ,
एथियस्ट पहले और मैंने भी
ठीक है,
कहा.
ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. मुझे नहीं पता
Let's go
और
from.
तुम्हें भी नहीं पता. मैं कह रहा हूँ कि मुझे नहीं पता. तुम कह रहे हो कि तुम विश्वास करते हो कि है.
नहीं मेरे को भी नहीं पता. Let's go from here. Inquire
Okay,
it.
cool. ठीक है.
Okay. Now, I guess you are from Sanatana Dharma, right? Your background.
I don't know
Will
what the
you
fuck that is. Are you talking
Sanatana
about
Dharma?
Hinduism?
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
use
So call it
these words?
Hinduism. Call it Hinduism.
Okay.
Huh?
Can you not use these words like fuck and all?
Well, very difficult. Your name is F, man. Every time I look at your name, I'm reminded of the F word. What to do?
The V for vagina or pussy. I literally when I see your face, it comes pussy. So I won't say
Wonderful.
it, right?
You're free to say it.
Brother.
You're
So
free to
let's go.
say it. It's okay.
Listen, bro. Let us be respectful, right? Let us be respectful and
Respectful
let us go
towards
like
what? Respectful towards what?
no, because when you use the word what the fuck is it? So that's
What the fuck
where
is
I
not a
will have.
swear word, you douchebag? It's a random word that people use in conversations all the time. I'm fucking tired. Who am I
It's
abusing
a
when I say
random
I'm
word.
fucking tired? Yeah.
It's a random word with your
The
brother and
F word
sister
doesn't
too.
mean anything. I don't have
So
brothers
with your
and
brother
sisters,
and
but
sister
yeah,
too.
I do use it quite a lot in my home also, and other people in my family also use it.
Okay, it may be cool from you, but I don't think it is cool with anybody else, right? So let us
I am
keep
going
it
to use the
civilized and
F word.
discuss.
I am going to use the F word every once in a while. If you have a problem with it, you can fuck off.
Bro, listen. Fine, if you do not see, you can call anything, but let us not go with the religion aspect, right? Let us not call it what the fuck is that, what the fuck is
It's an
this. Let
atheist.
us not
It's
go
an
with it.
atheist channel. It is going to talk about religion. What to do?
Okay. Okay, let us not swear any words. Let us go civilized discussion, right?
Let
Are
us
we
let
agreeing on
us
that?
let us not tell me what to do on my own channel.
That is a basic decency, brother. Right?
Huh?
I
So
think you need to learn some things.
if I'm indecent, you're free to leave.
So you are scared
Of what?
of discussing?
I
You find it
discussed with
better
you.
to
I discussed with
uh,
you for 15 minutes and you're unable to understand basic concepts. Is this
even you are
fear
not
or
a
frustration?
and the frustration comes from you because you start swearing at first, brother. I know.
I didn't say F word out of frustration. It's just I told you it's not that big a deal.
Okay. Okay, let's go for if you want then we can carry on, but let's say what you want to do. Do you want to carry on?
Sure, go on.
Okay, let's go. So
I'm saying
I guess you are
we
from
can
Hinduism,
carry
right?
on, but you don't tell me what to say and how to say. We can carry
Okay,
on.
let's go on.
Hmm.
Okay. So I guess you are coming from Hinduism. Your
Yes.
background was Hindus. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I was born in a Hindu family.
okay. So what is the like what did you see wrong in the philosophy of Hinduism that you rejected it?
It is a religion that discriminates against its own followers by dividing them up into caste. And
Mhm.
when it doesn't, it is likely to be fallible for the same reasons that any religion is fallible for, because it makes unfounded and baseless claims for which there is no evidence.
You say it divides with caste. Can you give me the reference, please, brother?
Reference for what? You don't know what caste system is?
From the scriptures.
From scriptures. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna
See.
says that he created the caste system. And the caste system, if you want to get practical experience of it, you can pick up a newspaper and read about it.
Okay, that is see. Okay, let's go with the Bhagavad Gita. See, I do not care
Hmm.
what a culture does. Culture and philosophy are two different words. Let us go with the Bhagavad Gita. What you said in Krishna.
Hmm.
So the verse which you are referring to, can you you said that it Krishna said that he created the four. See, he did not in the in that verse he didn't use the word caste system. He said according to the guna and karma, right? According to the qualities
So
and the
the
work he
problem with the
divided.
caste system, what do you think the problem with the caste system is? The problem with the caste system is that it assigns people professions by birth and
By
then
birth.
punishes them
Hmm,
for
hmm.
not acting in ways that that caste is supposed to act. Do you disagree with this?
Okay, let us go first with the Bhagavad Gita. You said Bhagavad
I
Gita,
asked
right?
you a
So
question.
no, but you first made an allegation against Gita, right? Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna said.
What allegation did I
Let us
make? It's not an allegation. It's in the Bhagavad Gita. Do you think that Krishna did not say this?
no, no, not caste system at all. Not he never said that we divide the society by birth. He never said that. You're wrong in it,
No, I'm not wrong in it because you're kind of running around the goalpost. I'll tell you why.
brother.
You said that caste is assigned on the basis of guna, right?
Guna and karma.
Guna कहाँ से आता है? Do people get their guna after their birth or do they are they born with it?
No, it is environment. आपको जो गुण मिल रहे हैं भाई, वो
नहीं
तो
नहीं
आपके
नहीं नहीं
environment
नहीं
how
नहीं नहीं
great
नहीं
हो.
नहीं 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 चारों तरफ मत
हाँ
भागो.
हाँ.
इट्स अ वेरी सिंपल
हम्म,
क्वेश्चन. गुण लेके
हम्म.
इंसान पैदा होता है या पैदा होने के बाद गुण मिलता है?
पैदा होने के बाद मिलता है तो इसमें क्या हो?
पैदा होने के बाद कहाँ मिलता है? गुणा इज बाय बर्थ, राइट?
Bro, the gun, do you understand whether he is peaceful, whether he is qualities?
Yeah.
What are the
And do
qualities and the
become
nature of work?
do people get their natures after they're born or do the people get their natures when they're born?
Bro, when they are born, they do not know anything, bro. That is just a child. What are you
But
saying,
people
brother?
still have natures, right? People are born with a certain
What
condition,
nature?
precondition, certain
What
set
nature?
people. If a man has certain qualities and a woman has certain qualities, their children will be born with those qualities, right?
A 1 hour old baby, what quality does he have? Peaceful,
He
aggressive,
has
what does he
qualities in
have?
his genetic
What?
makeup. They don't manifest the moment he's born, but they do exist in him, right? Are you saying that genetic information does not exist?
And genetic in the sense qualities like aggressiveness, peacefulness, these all come with the
Sure,
genetic.
sure, sure. Yeah.
And so at any point of time in the life, it is not possible to change it, all those qualities.
Are you saying that that is what Krishna meant by guna?
Yes, obviously.
What do
You
you
have
think?
always.
Okay, explain to me what Krishna meant by
uh,
guna.
no, he used the word two words, guna and karma, not one word.
Hold on. Let me get the Bhagavad Gita and I'll check.
Oh, sure.
Chapter, it was verse 17, but which chapter? Yes.
I actually myself do not remember that.
Yeah.
The verse number and all, chapter number.
Maybe I could Google it, but never mind. Go on.
Yeah. So in that verse, see, I'm 100% sure. In that verse, he has never used the word Janma Vivaj Gaja, right? divided with the Janm, in the sense birth, which is a
Have
caste system.
you
Caste
tell
means,
me something? Tell me something.
yeah, yeah.
You have a caste, right?
Well, caste, yeah, but it is not preached by Krishna. It is not never
Did
said by
you
Krishna.
did you get your caste at the time of your birth? Or
Yes,
did
I'm an
you at
OBC.
some point of time you grew up and no, I want that caste and I'll take it,
No, I'm an OBC. Yes.
right? So
Hmm.
I think that people get their caste
Hmm.
at their birth, and this fact is borne out by reality. If you
But
look
caste
around,
is. Hmm.
hmm,
Go on, brother.
go on.
Yeah, caste is a construct done by the human society, right? It is a culture. Hindu culture. See, you can
What else is
question
there?
Hindu culture.
So the religious scriptures are also created by human society. I'm saying it does not matter. If you look at reality, people get their caste at their birth.
That's fine, brother. But what you are missing is, see, listen to me. Caste exists in the Hindu culture, not in the Hindu philosophy. That is the issue.
It does. It is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita.
I'm saying you not, brother.
It is. Are you saying caste is not mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita?
No.
Okay, right.
See, yeah, I agree. What you're saying, Hindu culture, it is wrong. You can criticize Hindu culture, Hindu stories, Hindu
No,
mythology.
I
Then
think that's a facile differentiation. You can't have Hindu culture and Hindu religion as two different things, because it's dishonest. Hindu
no,
culture is what
hmm,
Hindus do, and Hindus do
yes, that
what Hindus do gets like it's incorporated into the religion, or they act in accordance with the principles laid down in the religion.
that listen to me, brother. Culture is something which is, see, when you see Sati Pratha, right? Sati
Hmm.
Pratha, it was a
Hmm.
part of Hindu culture, right?
Hmm.
But did
Hmm.
Krishna ever say it in the Gita that you need to burn it?
We're not
Never.
talking about Sati Pratha. We can have a separate conversation about Sati Pratha. We're talking about caste.
It is wrong. I'm giving you an example. See, there are certain things in the Hindu culture which is wrong. I condemn them. Caste system. I am myself coming from OBC NCL,
Then why are you
right? I
defending it, man? Then why are you defending it?
because because Krishna never preached that. That is the reason. Yes, I am. Am I angry against the Brahmins who use the religion tool to suppress us? Yes, I'm frustrated with them. They use this religion tool. They made this up and then they suppressed us. My caste,
Hmm.
my community. That's fine. But
Hmm.
Krishna never said that. It was the priest in the earlier times who, in the greed of power, they used it. What can we do
Okay.
about it?
So your point is that the Bhagavad Gita did not, the Brahmins did something that is not in the Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
Okay. So why do you believe in the Bhagavad? Why do you continue to support the system that has been traditionally used to oppress you?
Which system are you talking about? What system I am supporting?
Hinduism.
Hindu cult, bruh. Listen,
It's Hinduism, dude. Hindu culture बोलने से चीज अलग नहीं हो जाएगी. It's the same thing. You can use
bro.
different words. You can use four different words to talk about the same thing. The thing remains the same.
Okay, so what do you want to what thing do you want me to condemn? What is the thing what you want me to condemn? Caste system, I condemn it,
We started
but
a
it is.
conversation about the existence of God, which you
Hmm.
took in a certain direction, which you made it about Hinduism. But I would actually like to return to that conversation.
That's fine, bro. But that is what I'm asking. What was the thing which made you leave the Hinduism? That is what I'm asking to you.
I told you that it is casteist, and that there is no reason to think that the claims it makes about reality are true.
But in Gita, Upanishad, nowhere it is mentioned that with respect to birth, the society needs to be divided. So
It
what made you
does.
divide? Leave it.
I told you the fact that people get their gunas at their birth is proof that if you say that castes are based on gunas, then it is appropriate to say that people get their caste at their birth. You got your caste at your birth, I got my caste at my birth. Why are you denying this basic, obvious reality? It is
Bro, is
not
it?
only clearly mentioned in the Gita, it is also borne out by the living experience of you and me.
Yeah, I say, see, brother, I'm accepting this. In the society, there is a problem. There is caste system. These people utilize their power to suppress us. Even my community, OBC, there have been people
Hmm.
who have been beaten. I'm
Hmm.
saying you, I'm accepting that,
Hmm.
right? My
Then
brothers in the
why do you
OBC, they have
still
been beaten.
support the system that has caused that oppression?
Not system.
You
I'm
asking
supporting
me
Gita
why I left. I'm asking you
Hmm.
why have you not left?
Because nowhere in the scripture it is mentioned. That
Of
is the
course it
issue.
is. You just told me that it is based on gunas and people get their gunas from their birth.
Is guna not changeable, brother? Listen to me. In Mahabharata,
Can you tell me someone, give me an example of someone you know who was born in a certain caste and is now from a different caste because their gunas changed?
bro, in earlier times there was like, see, Krishna in the Gita says that according to guna and karma, nature of work, what you do,
Have you
and the
ever seen that
qualities which you,
happen? Have you ever seen that happen?
so that is a
In the
societal problem, bro.
scriptures or
This
in
societal problem.
something else?
So, brother, listen, I do not understand that. If there are terrorists who are blasting, will you criticize Quran? Never,
I would
because you have to
I would
verify first
if
Quran.
someone is saying I am acting in accordance with the values laid down in my religious books, then yes, I will.
No, you will first verify it. What he said is correct or not. Then only you will believe it. The problem is you missed that line.
I have not started reading religious books yesterday, man. I have read it for
Ah,
some time, and I have come to the conclusion that religions teach us to divide society among ourselves.
semi
Christianity
one,
does it, Islam does it, Hinduism does it. Every religion does it.
semi,
It is
semi,
about building tribes.
semi one verse from the our scripture, live Quran or
What?
Christianity, which says that divide the world. Give me one verse.
One
Give me one reference.
to divide the world. The caste system is
Yeah,
that thing. The
bro.
Quran and
I'm
the
saying you.
thing, obviously, if the Bhagavad Gita says, I have divided these people to do these tasks and those people to do those tasks, and your culture also goes on to say that these people doing that task should be punished, then of course it's
So
divisive.
leave culture, bro. Bro, condemn the culture. Why you
It
condemning
is the
Bhagavad
same
Gita,
thing. I repeat, it is the same thing.
bro?
It is the culture
So
and the
why you
religion are the
condemning?
same thing.
Why are you
The
condemning the
culture and the
Gita,
religion are the same thing.
bro?
If
Then
you
you
want
need
to
to
go back
improve
to
your
the
English.
conversation about God's existence, we can.
Okay, let's go. See, brother, that is what I'm asking you. See, when we have 50-50 chance whether it exists or not, the next step should
We
be to
don't, we
investigate.
don't, we don't 50-50 chance that it exists or not. I already went through it. I said that there is a chance that it is possible and it exists. There is
It
a
exists,
chance that
okay. The
there is a
second, yeah,
chance that it
second
is possible and it not does not exist.
does
There is a
not exist.
chance
Yeah,
that
third
it is
one,
not possible and it does not exist.
it does not exist.
You brought it
In
down
in all
to
the three in
existing
the
or not existing. Now we are
in all the
beyond
three,
possibilities. We are
bro.
beyond possibilities.
In all the three options which you gave, the last word was either
I
existing or
know,
not
dude,
existing.
please say something
What
new.
I'm
This is
saying.
frustrating. You already said this, and I pointed out what the fault with this was. You said it either exists or it does not exist. Since you
Hmm,
believe it, you give me the reason why you believe
hmm.
it. You can't say, I believe it because it is possible. It is very clear that it is not only possible, it may be impossible also. So now
Hmm.
that part of the equation is off the table.
Hmm. Bro, I think see, I'm trying to go with this 50-50 chance. As I'm saying, you let us go with this.
It's
Then I
not
can
50-50
great
chance.
discuss.
And I am saying
Bro,
that
it
it
is
is not
this.
50-50 chance.
Bro, you only accepting that. But okay, if you do
I'm
not
not
want to accept,
accepting
then we
it,
can
and
leave.
you're putting words in my mouth. Don't do that.
Bro, you only said in the all the three ways you're giving. Either it is either existing or not existing. Where is the
Listen,
option?
I'll give you three more possibilities. You are either deliberately not understanding what I'm saying, or you are incapable of understanding what I'm saying, or you're just here to waste my time. Which one is it?
Okay, then see if you are not
Which one is it?
you
Which option is it?
see, I'm saying you are wasting time. I mean, you are not trying to understand anything. It's
I'm
not
not trying to
sensible enough to
understand.
understand anything.
Okay, cool. चलो, bye bye. हो गया तेरा. कहाँ कहाँ से चले आते हैं. Next is my channel. Hi, my channel.
Hi Vimoh.
What's up?
Yeah, thanks for joining me.
Okay.
Yeah, I have few questions like the before guy who said like in Bhagavad Gita, uh, like the caste man like he said the people are divided by guna and karma.
Hmm.
Like it is the exact quotation in Bhagavad Gita.
Hmm.
So like I have read the whole Bhagavad Gita. Like I do not see anywhere it mentioned by birth.
Hmm.
And yes, there
Do
are
you think people get their gunas at birth?
not by birth. Eventually, when they grow up, they will get right.
When do they get their gunas? At what age?
Like how do we think like at the time of the birth he will become a kshatriya or a vaishya or something, right?
At what age do people get their gunas?
So it depends on like how how that we like how will he grow up and what are the opportunities he's getting and all. It depends on all many factors, right?
Have you ever seen anyone who was born into one caste change their caste because the Hindu society, Hindu culture agreed with it? Yo, this boy is now 15-year-old and he's showing us gunas of being a Brahmin. Let us make him a Brahmin. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, yeah. Like this is a problem. Like at that time, like it is mentioned only the four varnas. But if we see today, there are some 3,000 plus castes in India.
Hmm.
So how can we assume that
I'm
okay
not
this
assuming
script is
anything. I'm
changed?
asking you a question. Have you ever seen someone change their caste? Because when they grew up, their guna apparently changed.
No, no, no.
Yeah. So the practical reality of the matter is that for all practical purposes, people are assigned their castes at birth and they have to
Yeah,
live with it and suffer because of it or get the privileges of it throughout their life simply because of their birth.
yeah, yeah. Like yes, it's at present
Yeah.
it's going
That is
this
my
way.
point. That is my
Yeah,
point, and I don't want to discuss it again. Already दीवार पे सिर मार लिया है 15 मिनट के आज और मूड नहीं है.
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
have
yeah,
any other
yeah,
point? Do you have any other
yeah,
question?
yeah. I have other questions. Like the question is, we have like what I found was like in recent 2 3 years I have been studying some religions, some scriptures of Hinduism and some other religions also. So and different philosophies in Hinduism.
Hmm.
So what I felt was all these whatever philosophies are there, these philosophies try to unite people in some other way, like some 1,000 2,000 people they're trying to unite it. But again if we are going to expand these philosophies, there'll be a clash of other philosophy at the other side. So at that time we are getting some clashes between other groups and this group,
Hmm.
right? So because at that time to unite people they used the term god, so everyone will come here and they will worship him. So in
Got
this
it.
kind. Yeah, but at
Hmm.
present society, we are not living in this state or country. We are living like it is already globalized,
Yeah,
right?
multicultural society. Yeah.
Multicultural. So I think the religion has no purpose at present,
I
whatever it
agree.
is.
I agree. That is my view also. I think religion at some point of time must have served a purpose. Even
Yeah,
if that purpose was to divide people and make the tribe more angry against that other tribe, it helped keep people together. Not because it
yeah,
was full of love, but because it served a narrative purpose for purpose of, you tell five people that you all are children of the tree. So that becomes a religious identity and people become more attached to each other. They protect each other based on the
yeah,
guidelines that their priest gives them. But in today's era, we have better ways of organizing people. We have better ways which are not superstitious or supernatural. And I think those are objectively better ways to do human society than religion is.
yeah. Like I have some other questions. Like recently, I've seen like how like if there is some kind of thing like yoga in Hinduism. So there
Hmm.
is, let us suppose there is a proper way to perform yoga. Okay,
Hmm.
but I have seen in Western countries Christian yoga, like other terms, and they're doing business a lot of it in these terms. But
Hmm.
how do we protect our a certain activity, a certain exercise in this way? Because if we attach a religion to it, again this also will becomes a religious thing, and there's a chance that people can ignore everything out of it, right? Because if we started like Christian yoga, Muslim yoga, Hindu yoga, like there's like the proper method of doing yoga will be getting lost.
Yeah, but
What do you think?
who decides what is the proper method?
Who decides means from where it has come, so that is a
No,
proper method.
I'm saying suppose okay, yoga seems to be a point of contention. Let me use kung fu as an example. The
Yeah.
martial arts that emerged in China and Japan were exported to the West, where they were
Oh,
mixed with other martial arts that came from Brazil and other places. And now entirely new kinds of martial arts have evolved. Some of them are very effective and are used in tournaments and even by soldiers in the field of war. So what
Okay.
is a good, what is the ideal end result? We protect the sanctity of a way of doing things, or we allow it to grow by mixing it with other people. By the way, I should point out that if you take original kung fu and you mix it with a bunch of other martial arts and you create something else, the original kung fu actually doesn't go away. It's still there. People who want to only use it, you can do so. Yoga does not get diluted if you use, if other people use it in other ways. If there's a thing as Indian or Hindu yoga, and then Christians find Christian yoga or Muslim yoga or something else, this thing does not get affected, right?
Okay.
Right? Do you agree with
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, does not get affected means, see, if a 10-year or 20 years guy googling, like if he's googling, then if he finds what is yoga and all, if he finds Christian
Huh,
yoga,
so
Muslim
no,
yoga,
that's not true. That's not true. If they can Google and find Christian yoga, they can Google and find Hindu yoga also. So
yeah,
are
but
you what are you really worried about? Are you worried about yoga getting destroyed? Are you worried about search engine optimization?
no, no, I'm like what I'm saying is, uh, what is the solution to protect it it is in the purest form. How can we
I see.
protect that?
See, okay, let me tell you this. You are talking about something as if it has a purest form. I am fundamentally of the opinion that there is probably no such thing as a purest form, because the thing that you think of as the purest form was itself different once upon a time, and it has changed a great deal in order to get where it is today. Right? But
Okay,
even if I assume that it is the pure form is not going anywhere. If I take a song by Muhammad Rafi and I remix it with Jhankar beats, the song doesn't go away. It's still there. People who want to enjoy it can enjoy it. Not everyone is going to like the Jhankar beats version,
okay,
right? So
yeah,
we should not fight new influences with such great fervor that we prevent things from growing. Culture grows through multiple influences. People come into contact with things and they grow. That's how culture grows. By the way, I can pretty much promise you that if there was some kind of iron curtain that we put in front of yoga, ki only this way can it be done, no one else is allowed to do it, then we will pretty much kill it. It will die.
yeah. Okay, understood. See,
Hmm.
like the other question is, recently I've seen, like they in BJP government, they are building huge statues in Madhya Pradesh or in Maharashtra.
What huge tattoos?
No, huge statues,
Statues, okay.
statues. Yeah.
Okay.
So, what do you think of that? In Madhya Pradesh, they are building Adi Shankaracharya statue and a big and a large museum around it, like Advait Vedant to spread Advait Vedant and all these things. So, what do you think of this? Like, is it a better thing or what?
No, I think if, like, I don't believe in Advait Vedanta, but if Advait Vedanta is true and it means that the whole world is an illusion, then those statues are also illusions, right?
Okay,
So if someone wanted to build a statue and say the statue has magical powers, that makes kind of sense, because then at least you have a falsifiable thing. But if the philosophy has to do with the transitory nature of reality, ki reality is not real, everything is an illusion, then why are you building statues?
okay,
I mean, I'm not surprised that they're building statues. That's the only thing these guys know how to do. They can't fix they can't build an economy. They can't build a powerful nation. They can't build a self-respecting nation where everyone loves everyone else. They can build statues. So that's what they're doing. That's their only skill set. उनसे और कुछ नहीं होगा.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So,
my channel.
yeah,
I'll have to move on. There are like I wasted too much time on that one caller, and now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, and I'm already
okay,
past
then
the
I
1 hour
will
mark. So
come
I'll,
the next live.
yeah, maybe come next time.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Bye. That was my channel. The next person is Sumana. Hi, Sumana. Sumana.
Hey, can you hear
Hey,
me?
I can hear you. Go on.
Yeah. So I just wanted to talk about parenthood earlier. Somebody was talking about that.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm an atheist. I think you know that already.
Hmm.
And sometimes I do wish there were other atheist parents. That is
Hmm.
just totally for me because it's, when I'm already, that I'm a minority here,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
um, me and my husband, we both are Indian, so our daughter
Hmm.
is brown, and growing up
Hmm.
in, surrounded by all white people, it's
Hmm.
easy for, for her to be confident in her own skin. It's hard. So in that time, it's hard not to bring Indianness in her completely. And
Hmm.
my husband and I, we both come from, Hindu family. Both of us are
Hmm.
atheists. So in that way, it is hard for me to filter out only the good things that comes from our culture and reject all the religious things. So in that scenario, I feel it was nice if there were other atheist parents so that we can bounce ideas off of each other.
Hmm.
But what I realized that my daughter will be 4, so I have like 4 years of motherhood experience almost. And what I
Hmm.
realized is whether or not to have a kid totally depends on how happy you are. Like
Hmm.
if people are unhappy, probably they shouldn't have kids. Again, it comes down, it doesn't matter whether you're religious or not religious.
Hmm.
The only, I mean, a kid deserves a happy parents, especially happy mother.
Yeah.
And I think that should be that should make you decide whether or not to have kids. This is something that I feel. I always wanted to have a child. As soon as
Hmm.
I was nearing 30s, I could feel that urge of, I wanting a child.
Okay.
I was sort of obsessed with kids from a long time. So it came naturally to me. But at the end, I think how much, how happy you are is what matters, because no child deserves like unhappy parents. That would be the worst thing happening to a child. Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think this puts an burden on a parent who is unable to be happy because of certain other conditions?
True. I mean, again, here I feel I'm really privileged enough to get help whenever I
Hmm.
need, and
Yeah.
not everyone probably enters parenthood with this mentality.
Hmm.
Because it's like once you're married for a while, the next step the society tells you is to have kids. And
Hmm.
at least I'm just talking about people like us who have, who can go get help if they want to, and who are aware. Yeah, that's the best thing you could do. Just
Hmm.
try to get help and or know whether you are happy or not before having a child. Like my daughter does know, you know, she'll be happy when I'm present at the moment, play with her more than, if
Hmm.
I bring the most expensive toy. I know
Hmm.
she doesn't care about that, but what she cares about is how happy I am, whether
Yeah.
I'm running with her, and being in the present moment and not thinking about my work all the time, or something
Hmm.
else. I think that's
Yeah.
what kids need.
Yeah. I agree. I would agree. I just was wondering if, like, parenthood isn't easy, right? I'm not a parent, but I gather it is not easy.
Yeah.
And there must be on an adult at any given point of time. There are so many different pressures working. There is professional pressure, relatives ka pressure, socio-cultural pressures, political pressures, and children don't always understand all of it.
Yeah.
So when a parent is not happy for reasons that have nothing to do with the child may sometimes think that it is their fault that their mother is not happy, because the mother or the father cannot possibly convey to the child what is the reason they're unhappy about.
Yeah, true. So,
Yeah.
especially in the US, like parenthood is really hard. I think you need to be sort of rich to afford to have a child here, to be
Hmm.
able to. So, like my husband and I, we just, both of us have to be in full-time job to be able
Hmm.
to afford childcare and everything.
Hmm.
And we are here on visa, so we have additional immigration things going on in our head all the time. And there have been, times where nobody is perfect. So I would have yelled at my child. And what I found, you know, whenever I yell at her, I make sure I apologize. Whenever I am calm, telling her it was not her fault.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know how much you would understand at this age, but I see that when I apologize, she can sort of understand. I keep constantly telling her, I yelled at you because it was not your fault. I had something else going on. I think
Yeah.
this is something we never received as children.
Hmm. That's
I
true.
don't remember. Yeah, our
Yeah,
parents never apologize. So
yeah. Still
the
don't,
best
by the
thing,
way. Still don't.
yeah. So I just keep telling her that, these emotions are okay. Sometimes you are angry, sometimes you are happy, sometimes you're sad. All these
Hmm.
things comes,
Hmm.
and you should embrace each feeling. That's what I
Hmm.
keep telling my daughter at this age.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a
Yeah,
great thing to add. You were saying this in the context of the bringing up children as atheist conversation earlier in the show, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay.
So I don't think it matters whether, atheists are having kid or, religious people are having kid. I think if you're happy with
Yeah.
yourself, then
Yeah.
then it's best outcome for the child.
Hmm. I think often we get so, like atheist and religious people, we talk about religion so much that we kind of start thinking that that's the main thing when it comes to raising a child, and it's just one of many things. Like you can
Yeah,
have a child completely free from religious indoctrination, but they still might have 5 to 10 problems that came in anyway, and it happened because you are not looking at the child as a holistic human being, but only looking at them as a vessel for our religious or irreligious affiliations. So
yeah,
I'm kind of careful about when people say कि बच्चों को धर्म के बारे में पढ़ाना ही नहीं चाहिए. एक तुम अपने बच्चे के साथ बहुत बड़ा अन्याय कर रहे हो, because they are going to grow up in a religious world and they're going to have to deal with it. And if you give them no backing, no intellectual backing, they will fall for the first snake oil salesman who comes along. So
yeah.
do tell them about religion, but give them access to multiple points of view.
Yeah. So I don't have like idols or anything in my house.
Hmm.
But sometimes we do celebrate Diwali and
Hmm.
Ganesh Chaturthi and all these festivals just to give her like what India is, these kind of things.
Hmm.
And even then, I don't have like idols. We just cook Indian food, call friends over. So this is like my way of bridging US and India together.
Hmm.
And despite keeping her away, she asked me when she just turned 3, like, what is God? And I didn't
Hmm.
know how to explain God to a 3-year-old kid. So at that moment, I just told her it is something that people believe in, and
Hmm.
I moved on. So
Hmm.
no matter what you do, our society is so patriarchal, and religion, it's really hard to, even if you say things, they are going to be exposed with that somehow. My
Hmm.
daughter comes home and tells me, girls like shiny things and boys don't. And
Hmm.
I have never said these things to her. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I asked, where did you learn this from?
Hmm.
And I think it's because, she looks around. Unfortunately, I don't know a lot of, non-cisgender kind of people around me.
Hmm.
So it's hard for her to see. So I just made sure to show her pictures about, men wearing fancy clothes or women wearing plain clothes. I said,
Yeah.
no, it's
Yeah.
not true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not true. Yeah. Like
yeah,
whenever they come with, like it's I think it's important to challenge their thinking.
yeah,
Like whenever they have a fact about life that they think is a fact about life, it's good to nudge them and they, hey, yeah, sure, okay, but what about this thing over here? And I think in most cases you don't even have to push them very hard. When they look at something that is not according to what they saw, they're not as attached to ideological positions as adults are. So it's a healthy thing to do and I think you're doing a great job by, like, there are people in the chat also saying, Barnali says, Sumana seems to be so much of a caring parent. My mother never apologized to me even if I was right. I could not even imagine her doing so. Same boat, Barnali, same boat. Not mother, the other one. And Taranga says, what a relief this convo is from the preceding fights about consciousness. Those are not fights about consciousness. Those are a fight about basic epistemology, possibilities and all. But yeah. But
yeah.
anything else, Sumana?
No, that would be all.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye bye.
Bye. That was Sumana. And I have 5 people left at 1 hour 15 minutes. So let's go for 9:30 as the ending time. And everyone will have to talk quickly. Hi, Dynamo Coders.
Hi, sir.
Hi, you have 5 minutes. Go on.
I have 5 minutes. Oh, that guy
Yeah,
took too much
yeah,
of
that guy
time.
took सब कुछ लूट लिया उसने.
तो मैं आपका वीडियो देख रहा था एक वो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस पे उसके
हाँ.
बारे में बात करने में ठीक है
हाँ
अभी?
कर सकते हो हाँ
हाँ, तो आई फाउंड योर व्यू एक्सट्रीमली इंटरेस्टिंग कि जब आप राइटर्स की बात कर रहे थे ना कि मतलब जो मतलब ज़्यादा ओरिजिनल होंगे कि मतलब समथिंग लाइक स्टीवन किंग और जेके राउलिंग वुड बी इवन मोर रिस्पेक्टेड नाउ क्योंकि उनकी ओरिजिनलिटी की वजह से। बट आपको मैं ये पूछ रहा था कि क्या आपको ऐसा मतलब कोई डर सा है कि मतलब क्या होने वाला है?
हाँ बिल्कुल दैट इज़ वाई आई डिड दैट पॉडकास्ट एपिसोड और मेरे में अब भी डर है काफ़ी डर है डर तो नहीं मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि मैं रात को सो नहीं पाता एआई आ जाएगा पर एक एप्रीहेंशन है कि क्रिएटिव फील्ड के बारे में जो भी चीज़ें हमने बचपन से सुनी थी और आत्मसात कर ली थी वो अब 100% श्योर फायर मैं कह नहीं सकता कि सच है कि कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो इंसान ही कर सकते हैं और मशीन कभी नहीं कर पाएगी आई एम नॉट श्योर अबाउट दैट एनी मोर सो वैसे कुछ डर हैं
हाँ, वो पॉसिबिलिटी हटा दी। एंड व्हिच वन डू यू थिंक वुड बी स्कैरियर कि अभी अभी जो चैट जीपीटी है उसका जो फ्री प्लान है वो अभी हटने वाला है और प्रोफेशनल प्लान जो है वो रहने वाला है। तो मतलब बहुत सारे यूजर्स तो कम ही हो जाएंगे मतलब द प्रोफेशनल प्लान इज $42 पर मंथ ओके दिस इज मतलब अभी आया है ये कुछ टाइम पहले एंड आई एम अ वेब डेवलपर माई सेल्फ तो नॉट जस्ट क्रिएटिव फील्ड not just creative field I think any field is going away तो अभी तो फिलहाल जैसे हम वेब डेवलपर्स हैं तो मतलब सारा काम तो नहीं कर सकता वो लेकिन आगे के लिए मतलब क्या लगता है आपको क्या स्केरियर होगा कि ये चीजें पब्लिक में हो या ये चीजें अपने आप में अंदर डेवलप हो रही हो क्या क्या ज्यादा
ओके दैट्स अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन आई थिंक
क्योंकि GPT-3 which is even more powerful than chat GPT
हाँ
GPT-3 was not public before okay
अभी भी
but
मतलब
it
सी चैट जीपीटी तो पब्लिक है राइट
अभी
ऐसे
है हाँ
ऐसे ऐसे चैटबॉट के वर्जन्स हैं ऐसे एआई चैटबॉट्स हैं जो पब्लिकली
हाँ
अवेलेबल नहीं हैं विच आर
हाँ
लाइक जनरेशंस अहेड ऑफ इट एंड वो लोग
yeah
ऐसी जगहों पे काम कर रहे हैं जहां हम लोग सोच भी नहीं सकते इट इज़ पॉसिबल दैट द लास्ट टाइम आई स्पोक टू समवन दैट आई डिड नॉट सी विजुअली आई वाज टॉकिंग टू अ मशीन एंड आई हैव नो
हम्म
आइडिया इफ देयर अ पर्सन और अ मशीन चैट जीपीटी को फिर भी अगर बहुत ज़्यादा
हाँ
केयरफुली
हाँ
देखोगे
हाँ
तो
हाँ
पता चल सकता है। बट
क्योंकि
ऐसी
देर इज
चीज़ें हैं
नो
जो कि पता भी नहीं चलने
मतलब
देगी।
सोल इज द रॉन्ग वर्ड टू यूज बट देर इजंट अ
द
फीलिंग ऑफ
अपीयरेंस ऑफ इट
हाँ
द
हाँ
अपीयरेंस
अब
ऑफ या।
हाँ
मेरा
ऐसा
मेरा
लग
पता
रहा है
है
कि
सबसे
मतलब
एक्चुअल फ़ियर क्या है? सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट पर मेरा एक्चुअल फ़ियर
हाँ
बिकॉज़ यू आस्क्ड सम टाइम अगो मेरा एक्चुअल फ़ियर ये है कि जैसे मेडिकल काउंसलिंग है,
हम्म
it is possible to create a chatbot that will do counseling and give people all the right information and people will go away thinking that they got right information from a human being.
yeah
But there are things I
हम्म
dare say still that only a human being can do, and there are
हम्म
things that are only a human being can make a decision about not doing, right?
so you think that अभी जो आप कह रहे हैं
I would
you're sure
like to
about
think so.
that
Let me put it that I would like to think
okay
so. ठीक है?
okay
I'm
हाँ
delusional. Let me just hold on to this
everybody is
delusion for the
delusion nowadays
right?
everybody wants to say कि हाँ कुछ तो होगा मैं खुद भी कहने लगता हूँ कभी कभी कि नहीं नहीं
हाँ,
हम कुछ कहीं
कुछ
ना
तो
कहीं तो
होगा।
हम रहेंगे
नहीं मेरा
हाँ
असल फ़ियर ये है कि जो डेफ़िनेशन है आर्ट का या काउंसलिंग का या मेडिकल हेल्प का, वो
हम्म
डेफ़िनेशन हम लोग इस तरह देख रहे होंगे वो डेफ़िनेशन वहाँ पे बदल जाएगा और हमको
हम्म
पता भी नहीं चलेगा। So I think I would rather this happens in public so that we can all keep an eye on it and we can adapt and adjust. And if it happens behind the scenes and we never even know what hit us because of 4 or 5 white boys in Silicon Valley made a decision that is going to affect the lives of every creative person or every professional person anywhere. I think that would
हम्म
be a worst thing. I think इसको पब्लिक में होना चाहिए. chaos होगा बहुत chaos होगा पर कम से कम दिखेगा तो कि शत्रु कहाँ से आ रहा है. I would rather see my
बट
enemy
लेट मी
coming
गिव यू
towards
वन
me.
पॉसिबिलिटी ओके हाँ
हाँ,
आप बोलो बोलो बोलो
I was just
मैं
saying
बोल
that only. I would rather see my enemy coming towards me than not.
बट उसकी वजह से मतलब मैं ये देख रहा था अभी जैसे वेब डेवलपमेंट फील्ड है मेरा तो बहुत सारे
Hmm.
ना जो बिगिनर कोडर्स हैं ना वो सोच रहे थे फिर हम क्या करेंगे हम जब तक अच्छे खासे डेवलपर बनेंगे तब तक तो ये सब कुछ कर ही लेगा
Hmm.
तो मतलब मुझे अभी अभी किसी को समझाने में मुझे प्रॉब्लम होती है कि नहीं यार अभी उतना पावरफुल नहीं है मेरे ख्याल से अभी अगर चैट जीपीटी 4 आएगा वो भी उतना पावरफुल नहीं हो सकता कि
Hmm.
पूरा वेब डेवलपमेंट खा जाए बट
Hmm.
जरूर चैट जीपीटी 5 या 6 जो भी आएगा तब तक तो चला ही जाएगा, या मेरे को ऐसा लगता है। तो मुझे मतलब पर्सनली मेरा दिमाग तो एकदम केओस में रहता है कि मेरे को समझ में नहीं आता रहता कि क्या होने वाला है, क्योंकि बाद में अगर सारी कंपनीज इन टूल्स का ही यूज कर लेंगी तो फिर ह्यूमंस का क्या यूज रह जाएगा फिर। तो मतलब मेरे को तो समझ में नहीं आता है।
कुछ पूछ रहे हो क्या?
हाँ हाँ
क्या पूछ रहे
मैं
हो?
कुछ पूछ नहीं रहा हूँ, आपका ओपिनियन
बता
इस
रहे
पे
हो बस। हाँ, नहीं, मैं
पूछ रहा
आई
हूँ।
एग्री विथ यू, आई हैव दैट सेम फियर। एंड या अभी तो चैट जीपीटी, मतलब ये चीज़ें और ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड होने वाली हैं। ये
हाँ,
चीज़ें
बिकॉज
एक ऐसी हद तक पहुंचने वाली हैं जहाँ पे हमें पता नहीं चलेगा कि जिस चीज़ को हम प्यार से पकड़े हुए थे कि ह्यूमैनिटी का एक श्रेड है, वो कभी था भी या नहीं था। इट्स लाइक you've heard that, right? That the universe is expanding and there will come a time in the future when आसमान में तारे नहीं दिखेंगे।
yeah, yeah, I
अगर
have,
उस
and
समय
that we may have even missed a lot to see in the universe,
या
जो कि
और
already
उस
spread
टाइम पे
out of
पृथ्वी पे अगर कोई हुआ, वो आसमान को
हम्म
देखेगा, उसको कोई तारे नहीं दिखेंगे और उसके पास ये जानने का भी कोई तरीका नहीं होगा कि कभी तारे दिखते थे।
हम्म
दैट इज़, आई थिंक, अगर ये टेक्नोलॉजिकल रेवोल्यूशन इसी स्पीड से आगे बढ़ता रहा, तो हो सकता है हम भूल जाएँ कि कभी इंसान क्रिएटिव हुआ करते थे। एंड
yeah.
दैट इज़ हॉरिफाइंग टू मी।
बट देयर इज वन थिंग दैट आई थिंक ऑन दिस, क्योंकि जो फाउंडेशन नॉलेज है ना किसी भी एआई का, जिस पे वो फंक्शन करता है, जो भी हम कहते हैं कि लार्ज डेटा सेट्स पे ये जो फंक्शन कर रहा है, वो
हुँ,
एसेंशियली हमारा है। हाँ,
हुँ,
वो
हुँ,
एसेंशियली ह्यूमन बीइंग्स का है। तो मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि मैं ये कंप्लीटली मानता हूं, बट मेरे को कहीं ना कहीं ये बात जरूर लगती है कि जिस नॉलेज के ऊपर, ऑल्दो वी नो कि एआई एक टाइम के बाद डेवलपमेंट के हमें पता नहीं चलता कि एआई डेवलप कैसे कर रहा है, और हालांकि वो बात मैं कंप्लीटली मानता नहीं हूँ, मेरे को लगता है ये एग्जैजरेशन है, क्योंकि जो
हुँ,
बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज है वो चाहती नहीं एक्सेप्ट करना कि वो क्या कर रही हैं, क्योंकि कुछ ना कुछ तो उसमें जो कहते हैं ना कि मतलब डार्क एलिमेंट है जो वो कर रही हैं, कि हम
हुँ,
99% जानते भी नहीं। आई थिंक आप जानते हो, हाँ, जिस
हुँ।
स्पीड से वो चीज डेवलप कर रही है, हाँ, उस स्पीड में वो क्या डायरेक्शन ले रही है, बट वो डायरेक्शन जो भी ले रही है, वो उसका जो मतलब फ्रेमवर्क है वो आपने ही सेट किया था। हाँ, मतलब
किसने सेट किया था? मैंने तो नहीं किया।
नहीं नहीं, मतलब जो एआई इंजीनियर्स थे उन्होंने ही सेट किया था।
हाँ, सो
जब
आई
हम
थिंक दैट
न्यूरल
इज़ नो, नो, हम मुझे लगता है कि ये जो पॉइंट है ना, हमको केयरलेसली नहीं लेना चाहिए। जो एआई इंजीनियर्स ने सेलेक्ट किया, उन्होंने,
हाँ
मैंने तो नहीं किया, उन्होंने किया, एंड मैं वो नहीं हूँ और वो मैं नहीं हूँ। उनके प्रेफ़रेंसेस दूसरे हैं। वो एक कंपनी के लिए काम करते हैं, उनका गोल है एक प्रोडक्ट बनाना।
हम्म
मैं एक आर्टिस्ट हूँ, मेरा गोल है अपने लिए क्रिएटिव, मतलब अपने क्रिएटिव इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी तैयार करना और उनके
हम्म
बेसिस पे अगर हो सके तो अपनी जीवन ही चलाना, राइट?
हम्म
सो मुझे लगता है कि हम लोग क्रिएटिविटी को जो नुकसान हो रहा है उसको उतना सीरियसली नहीं ले रहे हैं, और ये प्रॉब्लम इसलिए है क्योंकि अगर इस समस्या से निकलने का कोई समाधान है, तो वो
हम्म
क्रिएटिविटी ही है। जैसे तुम अपने कोडर दोस्तों के बारे में बात कर रहे थे ना,
हम्म
they are probably not going to be able to make a living in about 5 to 10 years as
they
coders,
won't.
because
Yeah,
coding is something that everyone will be able to do.
yeah,
But if they
they will.
become people who are creative app developers who create apps, and those
Hmm,
apps are their intellectual property, if we
hmm,
if we start treating code the way we
hmm,
treat literature, then we
hmm.
might have a way out of this. इसीलिए इस समस्या से क्रिएटिव लोगों का जो नुकसान हो रहा है, उसको हम लोग बिल्कुल भी इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि
But
अगर
we can't treat code like literature, na, because you can give chat GPT or something like that in the future a prompt, which is मतलब जैसे आप कर रहे थे उस वीडियो में कि आप
we can
उसको
we
और
can do
डिटेल्स
this
दे रहे
we
थे।
can do this
हाँ,
we can do this
हम्म,
we can suppose you are a coder, you create an app, and that app
हम्म,
has is a game, suppose, right?
yeah,
You can tell chat gpt to create a game like yours, but chat
mhm,
gpt will have to be regulated to make sure that it does not violate the code or the particular kind of uh, execution that you have done. ChatGPT cannot be allowed to run wild because you did not give it permission to use your code. I did not give it permission to use my stories. The artists on ArtStation did not give it permission to use their art. There are certain lawsuits going on right now which are going to
yeah,
be,
yeah, there
yeah,
are,
which are going to be
there are.
pivotal to the nature
हाँ,
of what, like आज से 2 साल बाद अगर हम यही कॉन्वर्सेशन कर रहे होंगे ना, हम
हम्म,
कंप्लीटली दूसरी चीजें डिस्कस कर रहे होंगे। लाइक तुम पूछ रहे होगे, अरे मैं एआई मुझे मेरे मकान से निकाल रहा है, क्या करूं, और मैं तुमको पुलिस का एड्रेस बता रहा हूँ।
आपको लगता है ऐसा ना? क्योंकि I
मुझे
was
ये मेरा डर
listening
है।
to a scientist on
हाँ,
YouTube, and he
हाँ,
was saying कि this is not there is Neil deGrasse Tyson is the scientist name, so he was saying कि there जो टाइम था 1980s का जब कंप्यूटर्स आए थे मार्केट में, तब भी ऐसा ही लगा था कि ह्यूमंस चले जाएंगे, और अभी भी ऐसा लग रहा है। मेरे को लगा यार मतलब कि यार साइंटिस्ट है, लेकिन मतलब कितनी अजीब बात है, क्योंकि तब कंप्यूटर चलाने के लिए हम चाहिए थे। अब एआई को चलाने के लिए हमको तो बस कुछ वर्ड्स उस पे फेंकने हैं, और वो तो कोई भी फेंक लेगा। तो फिर हमारी कैपेबिलिटी कहाँ रह गई? हमारी
हाँ।
कैपेबिलिटी तो रही नहीं,
नहीं,
तो
इसका पता
एक्चुअली
है क्या,
डर तो है। हाँ,
कोई चीज हो सकती है,
हाँ,
इज ऑब्वियस, हो सकती है, पर क्या उसे होना चाहिए? और ये रोकने के लिए हमने हमेशा से कानून बनाए हैं। जैसे किसी को मारने के लिए बस एक चाकू घुसाना काफी है, पर चाकू घुसाने पर तुम्हें जेल होगी, चाकू घुसाने से तुमको लोग रोकेंगे, और जिसको तुम मार रहे हो वो भी नहीं चाहेगा कि तुम चाकू
but
घुसाओ।
the problem
और
is
ये
Vimoh
सब,
कि this doesn't seem as lethal as using a knife
yeah,
or
so the
killing
first
someone with
step
a
the
knife.
first step
Yeah,
is recognizing that it is lethal. And the if there are people who don't recognize this as lethal, it's probably because, yeah, it's a shiny new toy and they're blown away by it. It's like Jurassic Park, right? You The
yeah.
first time they entered it, oh wow, look at that dinosaur, and it's mind
Well,
blowing. But
exactly what you're saying. I
soon they
was watching
realize
an
this
interview of
has
Satya
widespread
Nadella.
implications. Yeah.
सत्य नेडेला का मैं एक इंटरव्यू देख रहा था, अभी वॉल स्ट्रीट जर्नल पे आया था। तो उसको इंटरव्यूअर बार बार पूछ रहा है कि मतलब डर क्या है, डर क्या है, ये कैसे हमारी जॉब्स ले लेगा, एंड ही इज जस्ट कंप्लीटली अवॉइडिंग द क्वेश्चन। ठीक है
Yeah,
कि
that's
हमने
because
ये
it's
किया,
not
ये
his
किया।
problem, right? If
हाँ,
his company is creating software for corporations, that's what Microsoft has been doing for a number of years now. They're not really in the consumer market. If his company is creating software for corporations, and corporations don't give a flying duck who benefits from it and who loses because of it, then he doesn't need to worry about it. The people who will lose because of it, which might be an individual artist or an individual coder, they will worry about it. So I
because there
would,
were a lot of
लेकिन हमको
coders
अगर
right
एआई के
now
बारे
in
में,
हाँ,
हमें इस बात का भी ध्यान रखना होगा कि हम एआई के बारे में जो बातें कर रहे हैं, हम किसके ओपिनियंस पे ध्यान दे रहे हैं। आई वुड पे मच मोर अटेंशन टू द ओपिनियंस ऑफ द पीपल हु आर लूजिंग आउट, एंड नॉट टू अ मिलियनर कॉर्पोरेशन सीईओ who has nothing to lose.
yeah, yeah, but do you think he would be regulated by the government?
He should be, is my position. Like, my position is that there
He
needs to
should
be
be, but
regulation
will
on
he
this.
be? Because
Probably
I
no,
think
probably listen, अभी इस साल गूगल पे अमेरिका में इस समय कुछ एंटी ट्रस्ट केसेस चल रहे हैं। सो
मैं समझा
इन
नहीं,
एंटी ट्रस्ट केसेस का
मेरे को नहीं
थ्रस्ट
पता।
गूगल के एडवर्टाइजिंग बिजनेस के ऊपर है, पर
अच्छा,
आई सी नो रीजन व्हाई सच केसेस कैन नॉट बी ब्रॉट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू देयर enabling arbitrarily enabling artificial intelligence to run rampant across the internet. And these lawsuits against AI companies are going to be useful, I think. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, but they're going to be useful in framing how we deal with this tech.
because I fear that everyone will be treated just like postmen were, कि जब पहले चिट्ठी लेके आते थे तो उनकी जॉब उन्होंने ही ढूंढी होगी कि कहाँ पे वो गए उसके बाद, क्योंकि चलो अभी तक तो वो अमेज़न डिलीवरी वाले बन गए। अब अगर मतलब वैसे ही कहीं हमारे हम इंजीनियर्स भी वैसे ही ट्रीट होने लगे कि हमें नहीं पता कि हम अब करें क्या, क्योंकि सडनली सारे कंप्यूटर्स करने लगे, और जो भी बहुत टॉप लेवल पे है, चलो प्रॉम्प्ट देने के लिए उनको रख लिया 5 साल के बाद, आज से 5 साल के बाद। बट बाकी जो नीचे, क्योंकि अभी माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ने 2-3 दिन पहले 10,000 लोगों को जॉब से निकाला है। हाँ, एंड अभी निकाला है 2-3 दिन पहले। एंड आई फियर, क्योंकि अभी जो जो एक सिंपल लेवल ऑफ कोड है, वो तो ये चैट जीपीटी भी डेवलप कर लेता है। ठीक है, जिसकी रिक्वायरमेंट मतलब जिसके लिए सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर्स की रिक्वायरमेंट थी अभी तक, कि नॉर्मल कोड भी लिखने के लिए जिसमें बहुत ज्यादा क्रिएटिविटी नहीं लगती, उसके लिए रिक्वायरमेंट थी कोडर्स की, बट अब वो अब नहीं है। तो अभी भी लोगों की जॉब गई है, बट लोगों को पता नहीं चल रहा है। मतलब तो हाँ, चलो इतना ही, मैं इतना ही कहना चाहता हूँ।
कोई बात नहीं, देखेंगे, फिर बात करेंगे इसके बारे में। हाँ, आज ज़्यादा
हाँ,
टाइम नहीं है,
करेंगे।
बट थैंक यू
हाँ,
फॉर
हाँ,
कमिंग डायनामो। बाय बाय।
आज एफ ले गया टाइम, चलो।
चलो, बाय।
बाय बाय।
That was Dynamo. For some reason, I have lost a bunch of people. I have 2 left. Next is Devraj Sanyal. Hi, Devraj. Hello? Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
Devraj, I
Yeah.
can
Okay.
hear
Thank
you.
you.
Go on.
Yeah. I just had a few questions. Yeah. So I had
There's
a
a
few things regarding like. So
oh,
are you from the
am I from the what?
maths background?
No, I'm not from a maths background.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So there is some limit to understanding of the human brain as well as understanding of the universe. Would you agree to that?
I would say that I don't know if there is.
So there is something called the incompleteness theorem, right?
Hmm.
Which was posited by Gödel.
Hmm.
Gödel was a mathematician, and
Okay. Again, I'm not a mathematician.
okay. No. This is just a like you may probably want to look at it, right? Because this actually opens up an interesting point that since there are things which we cannot understand through our brain,
Hmm.
there might be things which we are not able to understand, and there might be things which are beyond that, right?
Yeah. So my point is, I'll just mute you while I talk, okay? Because there's feedback happening. So my point is that there might be things that we don't know. Is I don't disagree with it. There might be things that we don't know. I am only interested in things that are real. Might be is not good enough. Go on.
Yeah, got it. No, that is just the basis, right? But the important point which comes
Devraj,
after that is
your
that
audio is getting
because
disrupted by this. Your audio is getting really badly disrupted. I can't talk like this. This is going to make a really terrible podcast experience for the people who are listening. So maybe you can do something about your audio.
yeah, or maybe I can join the next time.
This is better. This is better. What did you do?
This is better. Okay, great. I removed my mic.
Oh God. Nobody ever use a mic. This like system doesn't work very well with mics. Just use your phone. Go on.
Sure. Yeah. So basically, there is this. So basically, incompleteness theorem basically tells that we cannot understand everything within a system. Right?
Hmm.
So if I have the
Hmm.
brain, I cannot understand the brain. Right.
Hmm.
So if you are within a set, you cannot understand that entire set, which is where it starts.
Okay.
Type of thing. Right.
Okay.
So there might be things which we cannot perceive and which we cannot ever understand. Right.
Okay.
And that is like mathematically proven. Now coming to
Okay.
that point, like holding on to
No,
that
but
point,
I'll
let
have
us
to
talk
ask
about
something.
freedom.
If there is if a definition of God which says that God knows everything, then does not the incompleteness theorem say that God is impossible?
Yes, absolutely. It does say that it will
Right?
be impossible to define God because
Yeah.
if
No,
there
no,
is a
not
God,
define
it will
God.
be impossible to
If the
define God.
definition of God, if nothing can be
Mhm.
known for certain, and the definition of God is someone who knows everything for certain, then the incompleteness theorem would seem to imply that in a universe where nothing can be known for certain, the conception of a being who knows everything for certain is wrong, and such a being cannot exist. Was that clear?
No.
Was that
Sorry.
clear?
So that concept of God is actually not. Yeah, that was
So
clear.
you don't.
But
No, I'm
that is
saying there
not
are
really
some
the
people
concept
who
of
have
God.
such conception of God. You may not
Uh-huh.
subscribe to that
Yeah.
conception, but there are people who think of God in that
Mhm.
way. Hmm.
Yeah. But just one thing here, and I'm not a religious person or anything, but in the
Hmm.
Rig Vedic definition of Brahman, it is like a
Hmm.
nameless, formless kind of thing, right? So,
Hmm.
so I kind of agree to that, even though it's like to me, it's kind of like okay, it's more of a mythology rather than science, right?
What do you agree with?
But yeah,
What do
there
you
is
agree with?
some. Huh?
What do you agree
I
with?
do
This
agree
conception
with.
that you agree with, you don't agree with it. Okay.
No. I agree with the conception that there is something which we cannot define, right?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. It could be a rabbit, right? It could be something like a rabbit somewhere on a planet that is so far away from here that we will never reach it. How do we know that
Yeah.
something is some kind of creating agent of the universe.
No, that may not be the creating agent, or they may not be, may be creating agent. That part I'm not saying. I mean, I'm not saying that is the God, right? But I'm saying
I'm
that
saying
there
the
is a
Rigvedic, I'm saying the
limitation of our
Rigvedic
knowledge in
conception.
something.
I'm saying the Rigvedic
Hmm.
conception of God is a thing that we cannot know, right? I'm saying
Yeah.
why is it why is that concept a God? Because the moment you say God, certain preconceived ideas automatically come into being. I'm saying if all you are saying is that there is something that we cannot know, why must we call it God? Why must we talk about it at all? I will agree with you when you say that there are many things we cannot know. Maybe there aren't. Maybe the universe is unknowable fundamentally because of the way we are. But why are
Fundamentally
we
unknowable.
going
Yes,
to the
absolutely.
why are
Absolutely.
we going
Hmm.
to Vedas and talking about God and using language such as that? Because just by using such language, we are giving credence to the idea that there is a God.
Hmm. No, I agree with you. There,
Okay.
that point, I completely agree with you. I mean,
Okay.
the first part, I agree that there is something which cannot be known, but
Hmm.
that something is God. That is where I disagree.
Hmm. Okay.
But I had another point to I,
Go
I had
on. Go
another
on. Go
point
on.
to bring up in this regards, right? So basically, the concept of free will,
Free will.
okay?
Okay.
Because we talk about AI and everything, and even physics and God and everything,
Hmm.
but free will is one thing where
Devraj, your audio went away again. Now it's completely gone. There is not even any disturbance. What happened?
hello,
Huh? You're
hello,
back.
is it audible now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I was saying, like, what do you think about free will? Because free will is something that cannot be modeled ever, right?
Well, there are physicists who say that the universe is completely deterministic and free will does not exist. And then there are people who disagree with them. I must confess, I have not made up my mind. However, my position on it is that whether free will exists or does not exist does not is immaterial, because for all practical purposes in my everyday life, I still act like I have free will, right? So that's all I need to concern myself with. Devraj? Devraj, I think you should come back next time. Your audio keeps coming and going, and it doesn't make much sense to have a conversation like this. Is that okay with you? Okay, now there are two Devraj Sanyals. Let me see if this one.
I'm
Yeah.
yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I think I got
Okay, I'll
paused. I
remove
don't
this
know.
other one. I'll remove this other one.
Yeah, please.
Go on. Go
See,
on. Go
obviously,
on.
free will exists, right? Because this free will
No, I'm
exists,
saying
right?
there are physicists who say that the universe is deterministic, and if it is deterministic, then free will does not exist.
Oh, so they, I mean, that is obviously not true, right? Because if they tell me that I'll be sitting on the right side today, right,
Hmm.
as per the laws of physics, I will sit on the left side,
No, that is a
and I
matter
prove them
of
wrong, right?
you. No, 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 that is not it. If if the universe is deterministic, there is no way to know what would have happened if certain other
No, no.
circumstances had been
If
in
it is
effect.
deterministic and there is a formula for that, right, for whatever action I'm going to take, right,
So, hey, so
then I will,
Devraj,
if I know that formula, I will do
Devraj,
something.
Devraj, Devraj, I am
Hmm.
not a physicist. I am given to understand that
Mhm.
there are really compelling arguments in favor of determinism. You should go look them up and not have a conversation with me, because even if you convince me or you don't convince me, you don't get anywhere, because as I said, I have not made up my mind about this, and I would rather
Mhm.
trust the word of a physicist who knows about the cosmos. Because are you a physicist?
No, I'm into data science actually,
Yeah, so
so
that's my
bit of
problem.
mathematician.
If you want to have a conversation about this with a physicist, you can do so and let me
Hmm.
know what happened.
Okay, sure. But
Cool.
do think about it, right? This is very interesting area because this is where
Do think
things
about
might
what?
go wrong.
Do think about what?
This conjecture that if there is a deterministic way to say whether I will go left or right, and somebody
Hmm.
tells me that formula, I'll do exactly opposite, negating the whole theory, right?
No, because listen, at least on this level, I'm clear about this, because you not listening to someone does not mean that free will exists. Because all you have
No, that
done is
means my
disobey a sentence spoken by someone else. They
correct.
are not the determiner of what you should do. They can express an opinion and you can go against that opinion by acting in a different way. That does not prove that free will exists. The universe is
Yeah, but
deterministic, because the way we know that the universe is deterministic is because we don't have any way of knowing what would have, could have, or should have happened. We only know that which did happen, and that thing is set in stone. If you got out of bed and you went to the left side, it's done. I have no idea of knowing if you could have gone right or if you should have gone right. There is no way to know.
yeah,
All
but
I know for sure is
if
that
it
you
is
did get off on the
deterministic,
left side.
then right.
Yeah,
But
what?
if it is deterministic, that means my future actions can be predicted by the same formula, right? Because something happened is
We
easy to say. Like, I mean, that
physical,
has
yeah.
happened, right?
So again, on that, I would have to ask you to
So,
go to
like a
physicists.
particle will go in a particular direction with a particular velocity, which we can understand, right? But
Hmm. You're
there
saying
is a
that the
physical law
fact that we
governing it.
you're saying the fact that we cannot predict human beings and their behaviors is proof that the universe is not deterministic?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so there is a school of thought that agrees with you on that also, which says that the physical universe is deterministic, but human beings are free of it. But that sometimes smells like human centric thinking to me, religious human centric thinking to me. The whole universe is one way, but we are different. Because there are also people who say that the every single working of the human body and mind is also based on particles, right? So I don't know.
Absolutely.
Maybe talk to a physicist and let me know what happens. Someone
But do
has
you get
suggested
the context that I'm
Sabine
talking about, right?
Hossenfelder's YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Sabine Hossenfelder's YouTube channel. She has a video
Mhm.
about determinism and free will. Cosmic Skeptic also has a video on determinism and free will. Maybe you could watch those.
Great.
Cool.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Chalo.
Really appreciate the
Thanks,
work you're
Jagdish.
doing.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
That was Devraj. The last person is Aryan. Aryan, your devices are not connected. Please connect them and I'll take you on. In the meantime, let me just thank people for Deepak Angrula. Thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. People become like Deepak and support the channel. Then there was Move78. Thank you for becoming a new member. Thank you. Much appreciated. And before that, there was. Bernali with a 100 rupee super sticker. She says, if a Voyager 3 were to be launched with an updated version of a golden record, what would you put on the record? What would I put on the record? I would put the BBC documentary about Narendra Modi and Godra and Gujarat 2002. I would put that so that before aliens come here, they have a good idea about what to expect on Earth. What is this? Yeah, I've covered all the things. And Aryan is here. Let me take Aryan on screen. Hi Aryan.
हेलो हेलो मैंने
हेलो हेलो।
पॉइंट्स नोट डाउन कर रहे हैं जो इनको बोलने थे आपका टाइम तो नहीं ले रहा मैं ज़्यादा आपने
नहीं, अभी
9:30 बोला था
तुम्हारे पास 5-10 मिनट हैं, बोल लो जो बोलना है।
अच्छा ठीक है तो आप कास्ट सिस्टम डिस्कस कर रहे थे पहले तो एक मैंने लिखा है कि रिलीजन इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ कास्ट सिस्टम वुड यू बी मोर फॉर दैट
How would
या
you
आप
bring about this religion free of caste system?
आई मीन बाकी रिलीजन जिसमें नहीं है कास्ट सिस्टम कैन बी एन एग्जांपल नो
Okay, so what is it you're proposing?
I'm proposing that you were critical of the caste system while
Hmm.
criticizing Hinduism in particular.
Hmm.
But what if a religion is not based on discriminating people among themselves?
But is this a hypothetical religion or are you
No,
talking
no.
about an
I
actual
mean,
religion
I
that
guess
exists?
I don't think Buddhism or even Christianity has any caste system, no?
Yeah, but Christianity still talks about, it discriminates against atheists and people who are not Christian. And it says that people who don't believe in the
No,
Christian
but not
biblical
within
God,
the.
they will go to hell.
No, but that makes sense. I mean, belief in God है उसमें obviously,
Hmm.
and non-believers के साथ बुरा होगा. That makes sense to me. बट उसमें हिंदुइज्म की तरह विद इन द रिलीजन नहीं है ना डिस्क्रिमिनेशन.
Yeah, but it's still discrimination, right? I'm
ओके सो
like, my problem with the caste system is that, like, my problem with Hinduism is that it is a religion that discriminates against its own people. My problem with caste system is that it discriminates. So my problem in both cases is against discrimination. So if another religion has discrimination in some other form, I will still be against it, right?
देखिए मैं खुद एग्नोस्टिक सा हूँ, तो मैं आपसे पूछ लेता हूँ, मैंने आपका अभी चैनल डिस्कवर करा है, तो ऑन अ स्केल टू 1 to 10, इमेजिन 10 इज लाइक एब्सोल्यूट बिलीफ इन गॉड एंड 1 इज नो बिलीफ इन गॉड, तो आप कहाँ स्टैंड करते हो उसमें?
मैं वैसे स्केल पे नहीं हूँ, मैं एग्नोस्टिक एथीस्ट हूँ। उसका मतलब है मेरे पास कोई नॉलेज नहीं है गॉड के एग्जिस्टेंस के बारे में या नॉन एग्जिस्टेंस के बारे में। पर अगर मेरे पास किसी चीज़ के बारे में नॉलेज ही है तो मैं उसके ऊपर विश्वास क्यों करूँ? सो आई एम एन एग्नोस्टिक एथीस्ट। आई डोंट नो इफ देयर इज अ गॉड, देयरफॉर आई लैक बिलीफ इन द एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ गॉड और द क्लेम दैट गॉड एग्जिस्ट्स।
सो आप एलियंस पे भी आपका सेम ओपिनियन है?
नहीं, बिकॉज एलियंस आर पॉसिबल।
नो गॉड, देन ये क्या बात हुई? ये तो गॉड भी
एलियंस आर
एग्जिस्ट कर
पॉसिबल।
सकते हैं
नहीं, गॉड
लॉजिक.
गॉड पॉसिबल है या नहीं हमारे पास जानने का कोई तरीका नहीं है। एलियंस की पॉसिबिलिटी है, ये जानने का तरीका है कि पृथ्वी एक प्लैनेट है जिस पे लाइफ एग्जिस्ट करती है। इस ब्रह्मांड में बहुत सारे प्लैनेट हैं। देयरफॉर इट इज पॉसिबल दैट ऑन वन ऑफ दोज प्लैनेट्स लाइफ मे एग्जिस्ट। So it is not impossible for aliens to exist. If the definition of alien is life on another planet, then we have a frame of reference for that. We have seen life on this planet, so we can come to the conclusion that life may exist on other planets. If the definition of God is a being that created the universe, we don't have a frame of reference for it because we don't know anything about where this universe came from, and we don't have other universes to compare our universe with.
नो बट ये तो जैसे एक मैं एक्सप्लेन करना अगर करूँ कि जैसे मैंने अपनी पूरी लाइफ में बस 10 ब्लैक पिजन्स देखे हैं, ठीक है, और मैंने बिलीव कर लिया कि ब्लैक पिजन्स ही एग्जिस्ट करते हैं, काले ही होते हैं, और एक दिन मैंने देख लिया वाइट पिजन है, तो मेरा पूरा फ्रेमवर्क फॉल अपार्ट कर गया. तो ऐसे ही अगर आपने अज्यूम कर लिया
नहीं,
है कि
जब तुमने
कोई,
काले पिजन देखे थे तो तुम ये समझते थे कि सारे पिजन काले हैं, ये कह रहे हो?
हाँ हाँ,
ओके। फिर
ये
तुमने एक
मतलब
दिन एक
मैं,
सफेद पिजन देखा, अब क्या हुआ?
तो मेरा पूरा फ्रेमवर्क फॉल अपार्ट कर गया ना, कि एक वाइट पिजन ने, कि मेरा बिलीफ उड़ गया. तो वैसे ही आपका भी हो
नहीं,
सकता है
तुम्हारा
कि
बिलीफ
एक,
नहीं उड़ा, तुमको नया इन्फॉर्मेशन मिला जिसकी वजह
हाँ
से अब तुम्हारा व्यू है कि पिजन सफेद भी हो सकते हैं।
हाँ, तो और आपके केस में होगा कि अगर एक एथीरियल बीइंग एग्जिस्ट करता है, दैट बीइंग गॉड, और वो
हम्म,
खुद को रिवील करते हैं फ्यूचर में, तो आपका भी
हम्म।
हो जाएगा.
अगर हुआ तो डेफिनेटली श्योर।
तो
अगर हुआ
उस
तो, पर हुआ तो नहीं है,
सो
तो
देयर
मैं
इज
क्यों
अ
मानूं?
पॉसिबिलिटी, नो?
No, there is again, whether there is a possibility or not is unknown to me. Maybe it is impossible. How do I know it is possible? That's what मैं उस आदमी के साथ 15 मिनट तक सिर्फ क्यों पीट रहा था दीवार पे? यही चीज़ तो उसके सर में नहीं घुसी। अगर कोई
अच्छा.
चीज़ के बारे में मुझे कोई भी इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है, जैसे कबूतर का एग्ज़ाम्पल लिया तुमने, ठीक है? तुम्हें तुम्हें कम से कम इतना पता था कि कबूतर होते हैं, राइट? सफ़ेद होते हैं नहीं, ये अलग बात है, पर कबूतर होते हैं, तुम्हारे पास फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस है।
नहीं, माय
तुमने एक दिन
पॉइंट
एक
वाज
सफ़ेद
कि
कबूतर देखा
न्यू
और
इन्फॉर्मेशन कभी भी आ सकती है ना, किसी चीज
हाँ,
के
तो जब
बारे
आएगी
में.
तब जब आएगी तब मान लूँगा, पर अभी तो नहीं आई ना। अगर हो सकता है ना आए, हो सकता है कभी भी ना आए। तुम ये क्यों
ओके,
मान के चल रहे हो कि कभी ना कभी ज़रूर आएगी?
नहीं मैं ये नहीं मानना, आई एम सेइंग कि पॉसिबिलिटी हो सकती है बस.
मैं कह रहा हूँ कि हो सकता है पॉसिबिलिटी है, हो सकता है पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं है।
अच्छा,
है ना?
ठीक है. मैं भी मतलब एथिस्ट ही हूँ, बट मेरे को ऐसे जब आर्ग्यू करना होता है तो दूसरी साइड भी देखना पसंद है.
हाँ, नहीं, नहीं सही है। करना चाहिए।
और फिर मेरा है कि एज एन एथिस्ट, लाइक हाउ डू यू नॉट फॉल इन अ होल ऑफ नाइलिज्म, कि मेरी लाइफ में क्यों आया मेरे को नहीं पता, और जब मरूंगा तो आफ्टर लाइफ भी नहीं है, मेरे को नहीं पता जन्म है कि नहीं है, नहीं पता, तो तुम
नहीं, ये सबको
नाइलिस्टिक.
देखो, रिलीजन एक्चुअली एक पैकेज डील होता है। जो पर्पस होता है ना, हम लोग बोलते हैं कि हमारा पर्पस क्या है। हम बड़े होते हैं और हमको लगता है कि हमारा पर्पस क्या है। रिलीजन क्या होता है? कोई आके बोलता है ये ले पर्पस, इस डब्बे में रखा है, निकाल ले, ये अप्लाई कर ले अपने ऊपर। फिर हम लोग बोलते हैं ओके, हम डब्बा खोलते हैं, उसमें दिखता है कि हमारे कुछ रोल्स हैं, आइडियल बेटा, आइडियल हस्बैंड, आइडियल बाप और आइडियल मेंबर ऑफ सोसाइटी। ये सब लाइफ में करना चाहिए, ये सब मानना चाहिए। तो हम लोग वो सब अपने ऊपर अप्लाई कर लेते हैं। गलती ये है जब हम मानते हैं कि इस डब्बे के अलावा कहीं और पर्पस नहीं मिलता है। अगर कोई उस पूरे डब्बे को उठा के फेंक दे, तो भी पर्पस मिल सकता है लाइफ में। मैं एक राइटर हूँ, मेरे लाइफ का पर्पस स्टोरी राइटिंग है, और ये मुझे किसी ने दिया नहीं है, मैंने खुद अपनाया है, राइट? नाइलिज्म मीन्स हैविंग नो पर्पस फॉर लिविंग। बट ये मानना कि देयर आर ओनली टू ऑप्शंस, वन द रिलीजियस कंसेप्शन ऑफ मीनिंग एंड नो मीनिंग एट ऑल, ये गलत है। अगर रिलीजियस मीनिंग नहीं है लाइफ में, तो भी बहुत सारी चीजें जहां से तुम मीनिंग ला सकते हो। लोग ऐसे हैं जो कि भगवान को नहीं मानते, पर हर कॉमिक कॉन में बैटमैन बन के जाके घूमते हैं दिल्ली में। उनके लाइफ का पर्पस हुआ है, उनको वहां से मीनिंग मिलता है। ऐसे लोग हैं जो शादी का जो उनका रस्म होता है, वहां पे किसी रिलीजियस श्लोक वगैरह नहीं पढ़ते हैं, बल्कि लॉर्ड ऑफ द रिंग्स के डायलॉग बोलते हैं और बैकग्राउंड में ईनिया का म्यूजिक बजता है। दे क्रिएटेड मीनिंग फॉर देम आउट ऑफ थिंग्स दैट एग्जिस्ट।
ओके।
हम्म
वो तो आप वैसे कह रहे हैं कि डे टू डे लाइफ में होता है, बट ओवरऑल एज अ स्पीसीज अगर हम बस वैसे सोचें कि वी डोंट नो वेयर वी केम फ्रॉम, तो अगर एक आपकी साइड है एथिस्टिक साइड जो कह रही है कि हमें नहीं पता, वी स्टिल डोंट नो कि कब आई, और आफ्टर लाइफ नहीं है एंड वी हैव नो रियल कि क्रिएटर है कि नहीं है, और दूसरी साइड है जो कह रहा है कि ठीक है आपके पास आफ्टर लाइफ है, आप अच्छा करोगे तो आप अगले जन्म में पैदा हो गए अच्छा। तो मेरी प्रॉब्लम एथिज्म के साथ है कि वो एक रिप्लेसमेंट नहीं देती रिलीजन जो देती है
आई
उसका।
एग्री विथ यू, आई एग्री विथ यू। मुझे लगता है कि हम जब लोगों से कहते हैं कि भगवान नहीं है, ये मैंने अभी एक रिसेंटली एक नया पॉडकास्ट शुरू किया कॉल्ड द इंडियन एथीस्ट पॉडकास्ट। उसके शुरू में इंट्रो एपिसोड मैंने कहा कोई आदमी साइकिल चला के आ रहा है, तुम उसको सड़क के बीच में रोकते हो, बोलते हो कि साइकिल बहुत खराब है, एंड ही सेज हाँ भाई साइकिल तो बहुत खराब है, मेरे हाथ से खून निकल रहा है, सीट नहीं है, पेडल में जंग लगा हुआ है, इट्स नॉट गुड, एंड यू से साइकिल फेंक दो, और वो बोलता है हाँ मैं साइकिल फेंक दूंगा, और वो साइकिल फेंक देता है, और फिर पूछता है आगे कैसे जाऊं, एंड यू आर लाइक तुम हमेशा चल के जा सकते हो, और हम दूसरा कुछ देते नहीं है उनको। सो हमारा जो पोजीशन होता है वो काफ़ी, हम उनको बता देते कि क्या छोड़ना चाहिए, राइट? पर हम कई बार ये नहीं बता पाते कि उसके जगह पे क्या लाना चाहिए, एंड आई डू थिंक दैट वी शुड पुट सम एफर्ट इनटू दैट आल्सो। एंड अ लॉट ऑफ एथिज्म कंटेंट डजंट डू दैट, इट इज सोरली लाइक, जैसे मेरे मेन चैनल पे मेरा एक कंटेंट फिलॉसफी है सोड एंड शील्ड। सोड होता है वो जब मैं अपनी तरफ से कुछ चीज़ सामने रखता हूँ, बोलता हूँ कि दिस इज वर्थ थिंकिंग अबाउट, एंड शील्ड होता है जब मैं किसी रिलीजियस आइडिया को रेजिस्ट करता हूँ, राइट? शील्ड हमेशा ज़्यादा पॉपुलर होती है क्योंकि एथिज्म सर्च करने पे लोग वही ढूंढते हैं, राइट? कहाँ कोई रिलीजियस आइडिया को डिबंक कर रहा है। पर हमें इस चीज़ पे भी ध्यान देना चाहिए कि हम लोगों को क्या दे रहे हैं, मीनिंग की जगह पे कुछ ना कुछ देना चाहिए।
या उस एस्पेक्ट में आपने सैम हैरिस का सुना? ही इज
कौन सा?
लाइक उसने उसकी बेसिकली है कि अगर आपको सॉलेस मिलता है बिलीफ इन
हम्म
गॉड में तो आप वो कर
हम्म
सकते हो परस्यू, एंड
हम्म
अगर नहीं है तो आप वो भी कर सकते हो।
मैं एग्री
आ,
करता हूँ इनफैक्ट, मुझे सैम हैरिस से कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, पर दिस आई एग्री विथ। मैंने ये कई बार कहा है इस शो पे कि अ, अगर कोई व्यक्ति है जिसको डॉक्टर्स ने अस्पताल से भगा दिया, पुलिस ने पुलिस स्टेशन से भगा दिया, सरकार ऐसे कानून बना रही है जिसकी वजह से उसकी सिटीजनशिप छीन जाएगी, और उसका घर जल गया है और उसके परिवार के लोग मर गए हैं, मैं एक नंबर का सी हूँगा अगर मैं उसके पास जाके बोलूँगा कि भगवान नहीं है। अगर अगर उसकी ज़िंदगी में उसके भरोसे को छोड़ के उसके पास कुछ भी नहीं है बचे रहने के लिए, तो इट्स ओके इफ ही इज रिलीजियस, इट्स ओके इफ शी इज रिलीजियस, इट्स ओके टू हैव सम कंसेप्शन ऑफ डिवाइन हेल्प इफ यू हैव लॉस्ट ऑल होप इन लाइफ। मेरी प्रॉब्लम उन लोगों से है ज्यादातर जो कि धर्म को बिजनेस बना के दूसरे लोगों को उल्लू बना के अपने लिए पावर और पैसा कंसोलिडेट करते हैं।
या
हम्म
ओके, थैंक यू, आपका ज़्यादा टाइम ले लिया मैंने, मैं नेक्स्ट वीक आपको कॉल करूँगा।
नहीं यार, आज तो कोई कितना भी टाइम ले, एफ जितना टाइम नहीं ले सकता। एफ ने बहुत टाइम ले लिया, एंड आई एम ऑल्सो काइंड ऑफ डिसअपॉइंटेड विद द वे द कन्वर्सेशन वेंट, बट थैंक यू आर्यन, थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग, आई होप आई सी यू अगेन।
ओके, थैंक यू।
बाय बाय। That was Aryan Garg, the last caller of today. He made some good points. And with that, we come to an end of today's episode. I have like 6 minutes before the 2 hour mark. I wonder if I should read comments or just end it. But yeah, I'm not happy with how that conversation went. I think it should have ended a long time before it ended. And yeah, I should be more efficient. But I think I know why this happened. सो मैनी अगर हर रोज कोई डिसएग्री करता ना तो मुझे आदत होती, पर ऑफ लेट व्हाट हैज हैपेंड इज दैट most of the conversations that we have are civil conversations. So whenever someone drops in with like like there's someone who has not seen the show before and they ask me basic questions. एक तो मेरे अंदर थोड़ा आ जाता है यार, फिर से बेसिक इसको सब कुछ समझाना पड़ेगा, बावजूद इसके कि ये शो 2 साल से चल रहा है. So yeah, I should have stuck to the existence wala point and not moved on to the diversionary Bhagavad Gita point. But yeah, it is what it is, and I'm not happy with it. But I'll be careful in the future. I'll be careful in the future, and thank you everyone for joining. Let me read some comments before I go. First of all, Sumit, thank you for becoming a member. Sumit became a member थोड़ी देर पहले ना, अभी और कोई बना था शायद. Oh yeah, that was Deepak. So yeah, Sumit, thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. Memories of the movie says nihilism makes life so much more easier. Re-establishes all the priorities and stakes. NTG, you do nothing. You do makes an iota of difference. Give yourself time and find and do something that you love doing. Yeah, nihilism in it of itself is not a bad thing. I was addressing the point made by the last caller in the sense that if people think of nihilism as a bad thing, then what? व्यक्तित्व says religion is like a disease, और भाई disease के बदले disease क्यों चाहिए? बीमारी के बिना भी तो रहा जा सकता है ना. That is a good point. But I'm talking about when religion is the source of when religion is the only source of meaning in someone's life, then the thing that we need to offer them when we say abandon religion is some source of meaning. That meaning can definitely come from a scientific conception of the cosmos, etc. And there are books by scientists and philosophers which address this question. For example, Carl Sagan, I think, was a sage. The pale blue dot philosophy is the closest I think I can come to describing anything as spiritual for me as an atheist. So yeah. तरंगा ने बहुत सारे कमेंट दिए आज और मैं कुछ भी नहीं पढ़ पाया. ये देखते हैं. Yeah, okay, she's agreeing with me. Okay, there's someone called Mogambo here. Mogambo says, Aryan, corporates are always trying to save money. If there is a way to reduce cost to company, they will use chat GPT and fire people or stop hiring in the future. There is huge chance of happening. Yeah, a lot of problems that we are encountering with things like chat GPT are problems with capitalism. And we need to be able to see it that way. Meghnad says nihilism is like becoming a blank slate and then writing on it, then wiping it clean again. Meghnad, you don't talk, okay? You're a theist. You believe in God. You can't believe in God and also say that you're a nihilist. Choose a side, man. Mohit says, isn't that always the case? Everyone trying to find different meaning of life, and many of them wandering into areas which are not good for themselves and society. Yeah, that's true. I'm saying if you see that the purpose that someone is deriving from religion is causing them to become self-destructive or destructive towards other people, it might be a good time to step in. But in extreme cases, when the only place they can get meaning out of is their own religion and they actually are suffering without it, I think it's okay. I agree with Sam Harris on that respect, even though I disagree with him on a number of things. Meghnad says, fair. Varnali says, if universal determinism is right, then can the astrologers be right in predicting the future of someone? No, because that has to be demonstrated, right? Just because it is possible to know what is in the future does not mean that every person who claims that they know what is in the future is correct. It may be possible to know what is in the future, and we may have no way of doing it. Maybe that method is not accessible to us. कैलाश says, मेरी religion से problem है कि लोग बिना वजह सफर करते हैं. Yeah, that's a good point. That on that front, I would also be against religion. Meta Galaxy, thank you for the 100 rupee super sticker. Much appreciated, sir, madam, or whatever gender you are. And that's it, I guess. I suppose that's it for today's episode. Let me just play the music and remind people that this podcast is monetized and you can support the channel by giving a super chat or becoming a member. If you're watching this video at a later point of time, there is a thanks button below, super thanks. You can click on it and leave a donation amount of your choice. You can also support the podcast by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Vimoh. And you can also go to my blog at vimoh.stck.me and become and make a one-time contribution by pressing the support button. And that's it, I guess. Oh, I wanted to show you guys my other podcast. Yeah, so I have started a new podcast and it is called the Indian Atheist Podcast. If you want, you can find it on Spotify, Google Podcasts, etc. and you can subscribe to it because this podcast is going to be audio only and it's going to be about Indian atheism. The reason I started it is because this show has kind of become about more than atheism. So the Indian Atheist Podcast is going to be only about atheism. It's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and all the other platforms. So you can subscribe to it, listen to it, and share it with people. The reason I started it is because almost every hit podcast in India is about spirituality or religion or some kind of pseudo-scientific topic. So I wanted to put one player from our side in that Maidan. So that's why this podcast was created. And yeah, that's it, I suppose. Today was Wednesday, February 1st. The next time I will see you will be on Saturday at 8 p.m. So until then, please take care of yourselves and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Good night.